So this is it. Coronavirus is here. By all accounts, this is going to be the last episode of the podcast. We got news recently that it has hit Ireland. And so we are sitting here, bathed in candlelight, hand in hand, waiting to waste away. And I think this is probably a good opportunity for us to really reach deep down inside ourselves and express our most honest emotions about this podcast and what it's meant to us and how we feel about it. Niamh, go ahead.
Ooh.
No, Bryan, let her speak.
Okay.
I mean, it's hard to know what to say when you're at the end and the candlelight is flickering and
The flesh is falling from your bones.
the flesh is falling from our bones. But this has been the worst part of my life. Just full stop. I didn't learn anything. I didn't grow. I learned to love both of you less. And I'm glad that I get to see you die.
Well said. Mutual. Yeah, absolutely. Bryan.
Have we been doing a podcast this entire time?
We've been recording these conversations and putting them on the internet and people talk about them.
Oh no. Oh no. I've said some things and people listen to this show?
Yeah, no, quite a few as well.
Oh
yeah.
No, at least I don't have much longer.
No, the shame you feel right now, you will have to live with for maybe 40. Well, I don't know. I guess we'll just keep recording, and if we make it to the end of this section, if we make it to the end of this podcast, fantastic. But I can already feel. I can feel death's clammy hand on my shoulder, even more so than usual.
That's just
me.
Niamh.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And is this being recorded right now?
This is, you see the giant's black pole object in front of you?
Yeah.
That's a microphone.
Oh, I thought that was a coat hanger.
Yeah. No, my friend. That is recording everything that is audibly happening around you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, I never want to tell you about this because I knew it would just weird you out,
Hi, one person who listens to us.
Yeah, one person.
Oh.
Yeah. And me and Niamh were always kind of uncomfortable about, well, not recording you, but telling you it was happening.
Yeah.
Just, I think it raised some kind of moral concerns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I guess I know now, but maybe it would have been better if I'd never known.
Oh, yeah, no, without doubt, for sure.
Yeah, well, I've been kicked while I'm down, and that's just how it is.
Yeah, death is inevitable, and life's a nightmare. Welcome to the Let's Fight a Boss video game podcast. The world's strongest video game podcast. I am sitting here with the two most virus-immune people in existence. To my left, it's the antidote.
My body is 90% cough syrup.
It's Bryan.
Hi.
To my right, it's the immunizer. It's Niamh.
Hi, everyone.
You don't sound too pumped.
That was so grim.
Yeah.
That open.
Do you not like being the immunizer?
Well, the vaccinator, maybe. Let me slap your children.
Oh, it's too fucking late now, Niamh.
Who are you?
With health.
With you always, I am your host, Ekins.
Ekins? No, I don't like this anymore. It has to begin with J.
Yeah.
What's J? What's J, Niamh?
The letter J.
Just call yourself the Girona virus or something.
My Sharona virus?
My Girona.
Why?
Germona.
No, I refused. I've realized recently I'm past an identity or label. We're all just a fucking bag of atoms floating through the universe, man. You can't pin me down to one reality, one existence. I refuse.
Okay. Well,
I am everything and I am nothing, Niamh.
What about germ?
Yeah, okay, germ will do.
Yeah, germ.
Yeah, okay, cool.
With a J.
Yeah. No, totally. That's appropriate on many levels. Guys, I watched Derry Girls.
Oh, yay.
Fucking
Yeah.
shit.
What?
There's John again with his opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wait to see what people think and I just sprint the opposite way. This was excellent. So much fun. I've only watched the first season, but god damn, it's fucking hilarious.
Heartfelt, hilarious, just really Irish. It's like the best Irish comedy since the other one doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Well, Niamh, you really brought that down.
Sorry, should we go back to Corona?
Derry Girls is cute. Go on.
Derry Girls is cute. I like all the. I think the actors, like the writing is really funny. Like the writing's great, but I think it is just like there's so many of those jokes just like elevated by the acting of those characters. I'm not sure the name of the main girl in it, but the way she like chokes out her words because she's so disgusted with most situations.
Yeah, like
is fucking brilliant.
she always has her nose like turned up at the ceiling. She always says this like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, and I just love how dismissive they all are to the English guy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I really like the small one who'll just fucking rat you out on the spot.
Yeah, she's brilliant.
It's a little lesser.
Yeah. The wee lesbian.
I nearly wish there was more of the parents in it.
Yeah.
The parent, like that in the first episode, there's a scene where they're all in the principal's office and all the parents come in and like say their bit. I love the way one of the dads is just like, "So we're killing wee nuns now, are we?"
I love the really mean father-in-law to the dad.
Oh, he's brilliant.
He's so brutally scary.
The guy from Game of Thrones, the old knight. I like the one where he's watching Ian Paisley on TV and they're like, "Turn down the TV," and he's like, "I can't, it's at 1." It's just Ian Paisley shouting.
And it's just like, I don't know how he does it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been having a really, really great time in that. Niamh,
Yes.
you've seen the new Invisible Man.
Oh god. Okay, if I'm bringing the tone up, this is not the movie to
I really,
drag it
really
up.
want to see this movie. I love The Invisible Man.
I think this is a great modern adaptation of that story. So you got like the 1933 Invisible Man, and then you got Hollow Man from the 90s or early 2000s.
That's a weird. There's some invisible boob touching in that.
Oh
movie,
my god,
isn't
that's
there?
the scene that's just glued in my head because I remember being like, "Oh my god, it's a boob that's moving independently."
The female four.
Yeah,
Hollow Man is so gross.
I really don't like Hollow Man.
No, it's an awful movie.
Okay, but The Invisible Man.
The Invisible Man is a very, very good movie, and it's kind of it's from the director who does Saw and Insidious, but it's the most stripped back movie I think he's done, just visually and tonally. It's about a woman, I think her name's Cecilia, might be wrong. She goes by C. But she wants to get out of a really abusive relationship. And the film opens just with her executing her escape plan that she has practiced perfectly. And it has this intense just tension with her sleeping boyfriend who she's trying to get away from. And he's this millionaire. And you know the way rich people have houses that are just meant full of glass?
Yes.
You know, so they can moon poor people or something. This is like a glass
It's so they can shatter
room.
them at any point.
Yeah. It's like this glass room that is overlooking a sea. So it's just like this prison. And she has to get out of there. She gets away, and it's just this really interesting meditation on domestic abuse, how hard it is to leave an abuser, how you feel like you can't come back from that, and using that real life stuff to make this really, really thoughtful monster horror. At the start, it kind of feels like a ghost horror. Second half goes more into monster horror.
Wow. The trailer does not do any of this justice.
And so is the millionaire, does he have like an invisibility serum?
He has something. I don't want to give it away because I think how he does his invisibility, like whether or not it would work or not, put that aside, but just given where we are with technology, I think it's a really clever kind of explanation of how someone would do invisibility.
Does he do it through social media?
No.
Okay, well, fucking, they dropped the ball on that one.
There's just some really scary moments because she's like they tell her husband is no longer around, and she's like, he's following me, he's here. And you're like, oh no, is this going to be a thing where everything she's seeing and everything that's happening, that she's acting out, and it's kind of just this, you know, thing? And you're like, you're wondering if that's it all along. And there's just these really scary moments. One of my favorite ones is she's sharing a bed with the family she's staying with. And he has a young daughter, and she's sharing the bed with the young daughter. And the duvet falls off the bed, and Elizabeth Moss is the actress in this, and she's amazing.
Oh yeah, she's brilliant.
So if the duvet fall off the bed, you don't look to the bottom of the bed, you look to the side. So you see Elizabeth Moss's character like look to the side where the other girl is, where the duvet is gone, and look her side, and it's not there, and it's at the bottom, and there's this big tall lip to the bottom of the bed, so it would have never have done it. And she's kind of like, okay, that's weird, and she picks it up, and then it has this really good fake out with a couch, and does it look like someone's sitting in it? And she throws the duvet over, and it sinks, so no one's sitting in the couch. Like,
that's some good shit.
There's some really good tense moments with just paranoia. She's keeping doors open because, you know, she's freaked out and she wants to be able to access people. But is there someone in the doorway? It's just very, very good, tense ghost movie at the start. And then it completely switches genre. And I think people might hate this, and this might take people out of it, this switch, because it goes way more into like a Michael Myers situation in the second half. And you will either love that or hate it. I liked it. I do think there's kind of a natural ending, and then there's a bit of a... I think it could have ended 20 minutes earlier, and you will know what that means when you watch it.
It probably had a test screening, and they maybe... Because the film's a Blumhouse movie.
Yeah.
I get the feeling they get a lot of, like... They're really tweaked.
Yeah, it felt weird. It felt like a really tacked on ending, and I didn't really understand it. I could understand it in the terms of like, yeah, okay, that kind of gives you some catharsis in a way. But just tonally, it felt off. Character-wise, it felt off. I think
just the last 20 minutes?
Last 20 minutes.
Right.
And it's not that it's bad or anything. Just for me personally, it feels like there's an ending, and I would have liked if it ended there.
Yeah. Sounds good though.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. If you were afraid of the concept of someone being in your room, maybe not the one for people to watch.
Did you ever watch the original Invisible Man?
Yes.
Yeah, the 1930s. I love that film.
Do you remember this? Do you know the scene at the end where it's like, it's out in public that he's invisible, and there's this whole like, am I over here? And
it's really goofy.
It's really goofy, but he's like, I will take over the world. I will kill all the world leaders and no one can stop me. I remember being little and just being like, oh shit.
Yeah.
How are we going to stop him? And then I can't remember, someone throws flour on him or something.
Yeah. I he goes into a flour mill and they find his footprints and then they burn the mill with him inside or some shit. I really, really love that film growing up.
It's great. It's in the same league as The Incredible Shrinking Man for me. Just like old black and white horror movies that are still fucking amazing.
I think a lot of those were directed by James Whale, who did like Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein. And his movies were supposed to be serious, but they just got more and more campy.
There's another one.
Went on.
I don't think it's called. It's like The Incredible Growing Man, and it's just about a man who keeps growing, but his brain and his heart stay the same size.
Oh no!
So he begins to become more like beastly, but you feel sorry for him as well. And I remember the end of that film is him like having a heart attack and dying, and I bawled as a child. I was so sad. Now, speaking of the duvet scene,
yeah.
Do you ever play Cover Tug?
You're gonna have to explain what that one is.
Cover Tug. Everyone knows Cover Tug.
This is a game that John likes to play in bed. I've played it with John.
Okay.
We've never played it.
Yeah, we have.
No, we haven't.
John, we've played a lot of games in bed.
Yeah, but not this one.
Okay, to explain what Cover Tug is.
So you're in bed with someone.
Yes.
And you grab the duvet.
Yeah.
And you wait till they're just about to fall asleep, and then you curl yourself up like a burrito, stealing all their cover. Now, you have to play this with someone physically weaker than you, so there's nothing they can do about it.
I imagine that would work.
Yeah.
No, I haven't played that game. I like to
I think you would probably be the victim in your situation.
I like to play burrito, where you get your partner and then you roll them up in the duvet.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
This is why I'm glad we do this podcast sometimes, exchanging info.
I like doing race car and helicopter, but that's private.
Okay.
Okay.
John,
Good
maybe
stuff, Bryan.
John,
Just
maybe
fucking
some
ram that conversation into a wall.
maybe someday we'll do race car.
Looking forward to it, buddy.
Can we do helicopter?
Yeah, we can. What I really like about The Invisible Man, I really want to watch this movie because it's cool that it's from her perspective. Because the one thing about The Invisible Man is that like he's a complete narcissist, and so his weakness is himself in that he wants to be the center of attention. He is invisible. He wants everyone to know it's him. But the advantage of being an invisible man is that you're meant to be undetected.
Oh,
But
the
he-
irony.
But he keeps drawing attention towards himself. And like, they definitely nailed that in the original film. There's some stuff in Hollow Man where like he's definitely a narcissist, but it's just like,
He's also the protagonist and the person you're kind of meant to sympathize with.
yeah. And I think if the film was from Elizabeth Shue's perspective, because her and Josh Brolin are the two interesting characters in that movie, and Kevin Bacon's character, because like I love Paul Verhoeven movies. That's his weakest film.
What else has he done?
Showgirls, RoboCop, Starship Troopers.
Yeah, it's quite a catalogue.
This keeps that narcissism in there with the Invisible Man, for sure. Like,
Okay.
he's a tech bro. That's how he's made his millions. And it's like, even his house, everything about it, everything about him, and just, again, how it kind of goes into abusive relationships. She starts talking about how he controlled her completely, and at the start it would be like small things, and then it became about leaving the house and even what she was wearing and stuff. And it's a really, like, it seems like the right way to go with this. And they could have dropped the ball, but I don't think they did. I think they did a really good version of Hollow Man for 2020 that examines these things and, like Bryan says, puts the right person as the protagonist.
Sounds great. I think we're in a really great period of horror.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah. Bryan, it says here that you have been watching Work in Progress.
Yeah, I think I was telling you about this show before. It's an FX comedy show that is kind of semi-autobiographical about a butch lesbian woman who is in her late 40s in Chicago, and she has not been in a relationship for about 20 years, and it's about her kind of navigating the dating world again in 2019, 2020. And she's incredibly out of touch, and it's hilarious.
That sounds pretty class.
It's kind of like, the comedy is kind of a mixture of Curb Your Enthusiasm mixed with Milhouse from The Simpsons mixed with 6 Feet Under.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Where, like, it's a person playing a fictionalized version of themselves, shot very quickly and, like, not cheaply made, but, you know, made on a budget, but used effectively. And it's a woman called Abby McEnany, I think that's her name. But the show is also co-created by Lily Wachowski, because since Sense8, the Wachowskis have started doing solo projects. So Lana Wachowski is doing The Matrix 4 on her own.
On her own? Ooh.
Yeah. And then Lily Wachowski is doing kind of smaller projects.
That's cool. I like their input on literally anything.
Yeah. And I think
we have to go see Matrix 4 in the cinema.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But so...
Like, together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got it. The Matrix is...
It's all been leading to this.
And I think there's some other creators as well, but it's just a really, really fun show to watch in like one day. But what happened was I was enjoying it so much that I watched 7 episodes in a row, and then like the last 2 episodes are kind of like, you know, has like a season arc, and I had to like take a break for a week because I didn't want it to end.
Oh, I love that with shows.
Yeah. And so it's her, Abby. Yeah, Abby. And like, I think the opening scene is just her on the phone going, "What's up?"
Oh, that never gets old.
And then the next scene is her in therapy talking to her therapist. And she has a really, really good epiphany. And she's realized that she's been talking for like 10 minutes and that her therapist died. And then she's at her therapist's funeral and she takes a photo of her therapist, and then she talks to her phone lock screen, which is the photo of her therapist, for the rest of the series. She's not doing so good.
No.
And they have flashbacks of her kind of life in the 90s and early 2000s. Because like she has grey hair now, but she used to have like black hair and she looks a lot younger. They do a good job of like like aging her back about 10-15 years when she was in more kind of like healthy relationships and kind of was more grounded as a person, but now she's just kind of like a bit of a loner, and she has a group of friends, but she's just like, she's not good at talking to people. But she starts dating this trans guy called Chris, who's like 22, and she doesn't realize he's trans at the time, but then finds out, and she's like, okay, I'll just go along for it. And Chris is like the most like patient, chill character ever. And every situation that she gets herself into, Chris is just like, okay, and just smiles and just goes along for the ride. There's a really good episode where it's about how she handles women's bathrooms because she gets mistaken for a man sometimes. So she has to go to a women's bathroom and change the pitch of her voice to sound more feminine. And it's her at a Dolly Parton concert in a big giant bathroom getting into a big rant about being mistaken for someone she's not. And then other people going like, that's actually not what we're talking about here, and her doing her pre-prepared speech and just completely misfiring. But it's got like misconceptions that you'd have, but then it'll subvert the joke in very funny ways.
Cool.
But then it's kind of like 6 Feet Under as well, where it's kind of very tragic, and it kind of has stuff where it has like a more modern examination of like contemporary families and, you know, parents getting remarried into newer families and stuff like that, which I think 6 Feet Under does very well.
Yeah, no, totally.
But yeah, I did not know this show existed, and it was a pleasant surprise.
What is this on, Bryan?
FX.
Okay. So good luck watching it.
You're gonna have to torrent it.
Okay, and how long are the episodes?
Like 20 minutes each. You
Okay,
could watch
nice.
the whole thing in like 2 or 3 hours.
Nice. Okay.
But it's just like way funnier than it needs to be, and like the way she plays herself is she's a cartoon character. She's constantly screaming and like doing weird stuff with her hands. Like she's not a normal person in this show, but then there's really, really sad, human, bitter moments to it, and those bits are great as well.
Bryan, I'm gonna need you to rate it on the Bryan scale.
666.
Whoa! Sorry, I asked.
Yeah.
Guys, I watched Dragon Quest: Your Story on Netflix.
Okay. Was it good? Do we like it?
You're asking some complicated questions, Niamh.
What do you mean by you?
What is good? Are you holding art to an objective standard? No. This is a very strange movie for a number of reasons. I saw the trailer for this back when, and I thought it looked fucking amazing. I feel like that trailer was being very selective in the shots it was using.
Okay.
Because there's parts of this movie that look really nice. Whenever you see one of Akira Toriyama's designed monsters in full detailed like 3D rendering, it's beautiful. They did a fantastic job. The human characters look weird. It's like Pixar spliced with anime, but you feel like they didn't go too much either way, and the result is kind of weird and uncanny.
Okay.
Yeah.
That did not come across in the trailer. They looked kind of cute in the trailer.
They did, didn't they?
Yeah, it had very vibrant backgrounds and stuff. It looked like it was very flushed out in detail.
The backgrounds are lovely, and the lighting is beautiful. Like, the lighting's really, really nice.
Okay, so it's got good lighting and modeling. It's just the animation is...
Well, the character models, the human character models are a bit strange, and what doesn't help it is, like, the quality of the animation is also quite a bit lower than, you know, Pixar, DreamWorks, any... you know, big 3D studio. Yeah, I think I was talking to you guys before, and I described it as very slappy, just very like imprecise and wet, kind of no impact to anything.
Okay.
Is the animation stylized, or is it like they motion captured it, or what do you think?
They might have motion. It's very rigid. Some of the animation, like there's some scenes with like background characters, and like if you look at those background characters and the way they're animating, it's like, wow, that orc pushing a barrel does not look like he's there. Like he's someone designed this animation and they just threw it on, and like there's no kind of weight or kind of physical consequence to it at all. The movie... Okay, this is a really weird watch. To the point that I'd say, if you like just fucking weird movies, maybe this is one to go into blind, because I did, and I didn't know what I was in for, and that kind of added to it. But to explain why, and I really have to, because I've been thinking about this movie a lot, I want to explain the plot of this movie. So there's going to be spoilers here.
Okay.
We'll put a thing in the description if you want to skip it. But okay, film starts, right? And it's about this cool warrior. And the cool warrior is chasing after this evil wizard. And the cool warrior has his little son who he takes along in adventures. And bad stuff goes down. Cool warrior dies. This is actually about his son. It's kind of a bait and switch. And you're like, oh, okay. The son spends like 12 years as a slave for this evil wizard.
Oh yeah, okay,
yeah.
Sorry that happened.
Yeah, that sucks. And then he wants to go on this quest to marry this, not princess, but like wealthy rich girl who's like the anime wealthy rich, you know.
Yeah,
they kind of like each other. There's a few flustery moments in there. But his best friend from when he was little, who we've not seen before this point, who we did not see as a child, is also there, and she's like this cool huntress kind of character.
Okay.
And it's kind of one of those things where she's way cooler and hotter, but he likes the other girl for some reason. And then he proposes to the other girl before a witch gives him a love potion that will let him know his true feelings, and he realizes he's actually in love with the huntress girl. So he breaks off the engagement with the other girl and marries the huntress. This is all on a quest. Well, this is all like while trying to pursue a quest to kill this wizard. He also beats up a giant goat and then makes friends with it.
If I was either of those girls, I'd be like, fuck you little nerd.
Yeah, he's making things really complicated and awkward.
Yeah, and also you need a potion to figure out your feelings. Get lost.
Are there dragon quests? Is there a dragon quest in this? Is there a dragon?
There's
there a quest?
quests. Shit.
Are the slimes good?
There's one slime, and he's introduced near the start of the movie, and he does nothing, literally nothing, for nearly the entire movie.
Because you know how there's those Ice Age movies, but they have that squirrel, who's kind of doing his own thing.
Yeah.
Would they not kind of do something like that?
No. To answer your question, Brian, no.
Just shove him in there.
So then, anyway, I guess the quest for the evil wizard who killed his dad takes a back seat, and he gets his new huntress wife pregnant.
What? Okay.
And is then attacked by the evil wizard's minions, one of which is a really weird looking horseman. And and then the evil wizard freezes our main character in stone.
Good.
Because double bait and switch, it's actually his son who's the main. This is like 50 minutes into the movie.
Wait, so the grandson is the main character?
The grandson is the chosen one, as foretold in legend. This is why the mystery sword wouldn't unsheath for the main character.
This isn't how stories are written.
Yeah, why did we have to go through 2 generations to get to the fucking
So now
plot?
we're here
to the true protagonist.
And the true protagonist goes on... by the way, this movie's like 90 minutes.
Okay, so we're over halfway into the movie.
Yeah. 2 generations in.
We've now got our main character.
Yeah. And then he has to go on a quest to freeze his father from stone so his father can take revenge for his father. So that happens. And now it's a film about the whole family fighting this evil wizard. And they go and they fight the wizard. And they defeat him. But just as they do, a giant I'm not making this up, okay? A giant portal opens in the sky, and like geometric shapes like data mosh out of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it turns out, and then like the main character starts like glitching out and freaking out and being like, what am I? And then the film cuts to in the future of our world, our reality.
So live action?
No.
Okay.
Just modern day Japan.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
future Japan.
Okay.
And it turns out that the main character is playing a virtual reality remake of Dragon Quest V that's been infected with a virus, and the virus is ruining the game.
And does he have to kill the virus?
Yes.
So there's a new protagonist?
Well, it's an alternate version of
Of-
our second protagonist.
Okay.
So at this point, it's Summer Wars.
This is like
Kinda.
Sword Art Online in reverse.
But yeah, it's this
Yeah.
reveal happens like 80 minutes into the movie. So then he like is like, oh, I have to go back and save my son and my wife who I'm in love with. Because the game wiped his memories at the start and he didn't know he was playing a computer game this entire time. And so then he has this big showdown with the virus, who's like a character in the movie whose art style doesn't match any other character in the movie, which I guess is appropriate. And
Does it look like a Toriyama design?
no.
What's the fuck?
And then so like he's struggling and he can't do anything because like there's actually a really cool moment where the virus is like, oh yeah, check this out, and it disables all textures,
Oh.
and then it disables gravity, and then the guy tries to slash it and it activates no clip, so the sword just goes through him.
Sweet.
So that was like
That's kinda fun,
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it was. But then anyway, he's like making his final attack at the character, but he can't do it because the virus is just like pushing him back with his virus powers. And then the slime jumps in front of him and with and says with a voice that sounds like this, like, "You can do it, David. Remember all the wonderful times you had in Dragon Quest."
Oh my god.
And so he does, and he beats the virus, and the final scene is his family on a hill being like, his name's not David, but I don't remember what his name is, like, "Come on, David, come celebrate this sunset with us." And him being like, "I know when I go up to that hill, I'll lose my wife and my son, and I'll have to return to the real world."
Because it was the end of the game.
Because it's the end of the game. So this, and he's like, "But I'll never forget how much I love this game and how much it meant to me, and I'm not a loser for loving Dragon Quest." This is a movie about how great Dragon Quest V is.
And how it's a multi-wife fulfillment sim.
See, the thing is, in actual Dragon Quest V, you do choose between those two girls.
Okay.
I just didn't know this. Because I
That's
looked it up
nuts.
afterwards. It's fucking insane.
Interesting choice to make the movie.
And
like
Japanese
this.
audiences hated it.
I can see why no one's been talking about this, to be honest.
Would they not just make a normal
No,
film?
I disagree. Why haven't people been talking about this?
Because I think people were really hyped when they saw the trailer because they were like, wow, stylized like 3D animation out of Japan. And then what's this? And they're like, oh, like, that's messy. That's a messy movie.
It's, and again, 90 minutes.
That's a real, like, whiplash, like several whiplashes.
yeah.
Yeah, but like, no, when I remember I was kind of falling asleep around the 80-minute mark because I didn't give a shit. And then like the data moshing started happening and I was like, I woke right the fuck up. And I liked it for that reason, you know, like it was fucking weird. It's not a very good movie. The animation's not very good. It's not very well directed. The shots don't look very, the shots aren't composed well. There's no impact to the action. It's a B tier 3D movie. But I really appreciated this fucking weird swing they took with it. And if nothing else, it gave me a story for this podcast. Yeah. So check that out.
Is Dragon Quest V available on any modern platform right now.
I think it's on DS. I think it got a remake for DS.
It did.
Yeah.
I think it's actually been. I think there's like a mobile port as well that's quite different to the original.
It might be on the Switch as well. I know they ported a bunch of them to Switch.
It's like a movie that's a love letter to 5 specifically should probably have a way to play the game.
Yeah, I think 5 is also like a fan favorite of the Dragon Quest series. I don't know. I've beaten 2.5 Dragon Quest games, so I don't know.
But like, you know how Dragon Quest is considered like a very safe thing to kind of enjoy.
It is delicious warm milk.
And like, for them to do this, to kind of like go out of the normal structure that is Dragon Quest, like this would be kind of more in line with Kingdom Hearts.
It goes that direction, but Kingdom Hearts is not that grounded.
Yeah,
For
it's like
everything
you're
I just
really
said-
underestimating how fucked Kingdom Hearts is
I
as
know,
a
no,
narrative.
Like Brian,
No.
Kingdom Hearts. Imagine the data moshing bit, but imagine there was no reality or explanation.
I know, but like if you're watching Kingdom Hearts movie and data moshing happened, you'd be like, yeah, of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
But in a Dragon Quest movie, no, because you believe it to be a fantasy romp with some lighthearted peril and, you know, slimes. But instead you just get this weird cerebral fucking VR bullshit.
You get a giant 90-minute ad for Dragon Quest V, and Dragon Quest V specifically
In stores now.
in stores now. Yeah, weird fucking movie. I liked it. Like I didn't really enjoy watching it, but like looking back on what it was, I'm like, okay.
Conceptually.
Conceptually.
Yeah, because like that's out, and so is that Pokemon remake of the first movie. Just what's going on there?
Niamh.
I got nothing else. Wait, no, I do. I've been watching What We Do in the Shadows, the TV series.
Okay.
It's really good. Really like it, Brian.
Yeah.
Really like that the girl from Booksmart is in it.
Oh yeah, Beanie.
Yeah, I like that she's in it. I like that there's a female vampire. I think it's really funny. Yeah.
I really like Nadia and how because they're all English, but and they're supposed to be doing like, you know, Eastern European accents, but sometimes they kind of need to improv or they genuinely sound like they're angry and it's just like a British accent like coming out.
Nadia looks like Kesha, so I'm always imagining Kesha as a vampire, which is, you know, not a bad thing to imagine. But good series, really loving it. Guillermo is my favorite.
Poor Gizmo.
Guillermo is the familiar of one of the head vampires, and his desire is to be turned into a vampire so bad. And he's been working for Nando, the Relentless, for 10 years, and all he wants is to be turned into a vampire, and he's just not getting his wish, and he's just really sad.
Yeah, I really have to check that out. It sounds great.
Apparently season 2 is out like in a month.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Real quick, Brian, watch Primal.
Yeah.
Fucking great.
Yeah, isn't it?
Oh my god.
The last episode, like
Fuck that. Fuck that.
the bit where I think he just like smacks the skin off someone's face.
Yeah, he does.
And that dinosaur, that fucking T-Rex is the best fucking thing.
She's great. She's so good.
They hate each other. Best
They're
friends.
best friends. Niamh, if you could do any section in the world right now, what would you want to do? You want to do some improv? No. Okay, it's Wrestle Talk. So can I tell you about a storyline that's been playing out in WWE for 4 months now?
Oh no, but you're gonna do it.
Yep, I sure am.
Is 4 months a long amount of time or a short amount of time?
For WWE to commit to a storyline for 4 months, that's incredible. Because most of the time, most of the time, what happens is that they like the writers write a storyline and they let it run for 2 weeks, and then Vince McMahon's like, I hate it, and they just abandon the storyline completely. There was this one I loved with Orlando Jordan, I think it is. I might have that wrong, and apologies if I do, but they gave him this gimmick where his whole gimmick was that he was in the know about things and he was sinister. So someone would be like, what do you think's going on with Brock Lesnar right now? And he's like, do I know what's going on with Brock Lesnar right now? I do. And then he'd just stare off into the fucking distance, and the interviewer would be like,
Can he see the future?
They did that 2 or 3 times, and then it was never mentioned again. But this is a storyline WWE actually committed to. And they committed to a wrestler I really like called Eric Rowan, who's this giant, very imposing man with a beard. He always wears metal t-shirts to the ring, and he looks like a dude who wears metal t-shirts. And they've given him... He used to be part of the Wyatt family, which was the spooky, like, Bayou cult. But they've given him a new gimmick where he comes to the ring with a cage. And the cage is always covered in a tarp, so you can't see what's in it. But if the other wrestler goes near the cage, he fucking freaks out and beats the shit out of them. We've been doing this storyline for 4 months, and like people have reached into the cage and like pulled their hand back because they got bitten, and everyone's just been like, what's in the cage? What's in the cage? What's in the cage? And last Monday night, it was revealed. Someone comes up to him and he's like, hey, can I see what's in your cage? And he's like, you want to see what's in my cage? You want to see what's in my cage? And he reaches into the cage and pulls out a giant plastic spider. And when I say a giant plastic spider, I mean like a Halloween decoration.
Okay.
And like it's like animatronic, so it's moving a little bit. And one of the commentators goes, I think it's alive, and the camera cuts to break. 4 months of fucking build up, and that was the payoff. This is why people are so frustrated with WWE right now. It is agonizing. Like, I just sat there just being like, what am I doing? You know?
But in all seriously, what could be in the cage that would be good?
So, Niamh, I completely agree with you, but I think they should have asked themselves that 4 fucking months ago.
It would have been better if it was like a naked man.
But it's a small cage.
Yeah, a little cage man.
So there's been a group of different storylines where the answer was revealed to be Hornswoggle, and Hornswoggle is a little person who used to play a leprechaun on WWE. And one time there was a anonymous general manager to Raw who was really evil and cruel and would fuck over all the wrestlers. And after like 8 months of storyline, it was revealed to be Hornswoggle. One time it was revealed that Vince McMahon had an illegitimate son within the company. And after another like 10 months of storyline, it was revealed to be Hornswoggle.
I love how powerful Hornswoggle is. So they couldn't do Little Naked Man again. A lot
of people were like, it's fucking Hornswoggle.
Yeah,
would it have been better if it was
Hornswoggle
Hornswoggle or the animatronic spider?
It would have been like more hilarious, but I think from a WWE standpoint, it would have just been like, we are paying to be made fools of. We are giving this promotion time, and it is destroying us.
I think what would have been better would have been they should have commissioned an animatronic head of the guy, and it turns out that's his real head.
You see, they've already kind of done that with Bray Wyatt.
Okay.
Yeah, he comes to the ring holding a lantern. That's his own face.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I really, really love the idea of someone like, they have like their fake head is now on their body, but their real head is controlling it.
I think they should have done. I think you're on the right path, though. I think they should have done some like camera work trickery where he pulls off the tarp and it's his own head, and he's like, "Help me! He's not the real Rowan. He's trapped." Like, fuck, man, I'd be into that. And then they could maybe tie that back into Bray Wyatt somehow. That's my solution. That's me and Bryan's solution. But anyway, so this has been fucking terrible. I don't know why I still watch WWE, but I know I'll never stop. I know, and I'm a fucking idiot. Like, it's not the writers or even Vince McMahon who's wrong here. It's me. Because you know what I'm going to do next time fucking a big WWE pay-per-view comes on? I'm going to watch it. Because I'm a nightmare. I'm garbage.
You're in too deep.
Yeah.
I think they're in the top 5 most subscribed YouTube channels.
I think they might have, or at least at one point they did. They had the most viewed YouTube video of all time.
Wow.
And it was of a John Cena section on Raw that wasn't even like important or good. AEW had their second pay-per-view recently, Revolution. And here's the kind of storylines that AEW currently has. And not everything in AEW is great, but this one is fucking great. Kenny Omega has a new tag team partner.
Uh-oh.
Yep. So he was part of the Golden Lovers, and now he has Hangman Page. But whereas the Golden Lovers are all about love, Hangman Page is a raging alcoholic.
Oh no.
Yep.
Kenny, no.
He's in a abusive rebound.
He is, but they wrestle so well together. Like, they're fucking unstoppable. But it started to get really cool because the other big tag team at the moment is the Young Bucks. And the Young Bucks are also from New Japan. And the Young Bucks and Kota Ibushi with Kenny form the Golden Elite. That's how good friends they all are. But the Young Bucks win a #1 contender match. And so now it's the Young Bucks versus Hangman Page and Kenny Omega. And it slowly builds, and like Hangman Page is just constantly drinking and getting into fights, and Kenny Omega is trying to keep like everyone friendly, and it's not fucking working out. And so this all came to a head at Revolution, where they had a 30-minute tag team match that was just so sad, because sometimes like one of them would like hit another one, but it would be too hard. Like, he'd do a really fucked up move, and the other person would be like, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck are you doing? That was my neck or something. And it was genuinely sad. And then there was this really messed up moment where the Young Bucks got so pissed off with Kenny that they used the golden triangle on him, and that's him and Kota's move.
That's so mean.
And he got so upset. But through this all, like, Hangman Page has been like this great destructive kind of heel character. People love him. They're not booing him at all, so they might have to turn him face. But it was just really great watching like just this friendship just disintegrate over the course of like this amazing 30-minute wrestling match. And eventually Kenny Omega and Hangman Page get the win. But there's this like moment right at the end where like Kenny Omega's in the ring and Hangman's like kind of behind him, and he's just looking at him with like the most evil look, and you're like, oh, he's gonna fucking turn on him. But he doesn't. But that moment was so tense and just such a beautiful little piece of storytelling that I know we're eventually gonna make it, so it's gonna be Omega versus Hangman. But man, it's just, and we've been building to this for a couple of months, and it's a slow build, and it's just been great. And it's just insane, the fucking contrast in like the storytelling of AEW and the storytelling of WWE. AEW has been great. It's been really good. Still lagging behind New Japan and NXT in terms of match quality, but it's been great. That's your Wrestle Talk. That's it. That's everything I have to say about wrestling right now.
I have a wrestling question. What's with Cody Rhodes' shitty tattoo?
Oh yeah, the neck tattoo. I saw that.
It's so bad. Oh my god.
It looks like a video game character tattoo.
Cody Rhodes is a really beautiful man.
I know, and he ruined himself.
Not anymore.
And we have to respect his decisions, no matter whatever.
To not be a beautiful man.
I went back recently and I watched the match with him without the tattoo, and like I get it, because it's like I get why he wanted that tattoo, but I think it's not a great tattoo, and it's not a great tattoo for that. It's like the side of his neck.
It's a huge skull with the American flag in it on the side of his neck, and he has no other tattoos. Well, he has a bit of script on his chest
that says Dream, and that's a beautiful tattoo because his dad was the American Dream and he's the American Nightmare.
But he's like no arm tattoos, no back tattoos, no chest tattoos, and he's just got this big fucking stamp on his neck.
And it looks like
gnarly.
A logo on the side.
Yeah.
It's like me and Michelle were watching it and we were like, oh, you don't think that's real, do you? Because he's so handsome, and I don't know why you do this.
Just look at him from the other side from now on.
Yeah.
Just never look
He'll
at him.
always face right.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna Photoshop the tattoo, and I feel bad for him because it's a bad decision. It was a bad decision, and now he doesn't. Now he's gonna have to take a lot of shit on social media over it. But yeah, but he's married to Brandy Rhodes, so.
Oh, this is grounds for divorce. I wouldn't want to look at that. Bye.
That would suck. Brandy Rhodes she's a catch.
Yeah. No, she's a husband with a terrible tattoo. Anyway, that was my wrestle talk.
It wasn't really a wrestling question, even more of a tattoo question, personally.
I thought that was a very interesting question.
Yeah, I'll bet you did, Brian. I'll bet you fucking did.
Yeah, it was very engaging.
Mm-hmm. Strategy talk.
Do you need to go poo now?
It's been 2 hours.
It hasn't been 2 hours. I'd know if it was 2 hours.
Your body's on a clock.
I don't know. That's something.
Do you remember when we went for drinks the other day and John disappeared?
Oh, went to the fucking bathroom. What a scandal.
To make a poo?
The Final Fantasy Remake Demo came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just sort of came out.
Just appeared.
Here you go.
40 minutes of that game.
40 minutes of that game. Honestly, I was really fucking impressed with it. I've been very cynical in my outlook towards that game and my expectations. I've thought it looked beautiful, but I've hated a lot of the trailers because I just hated how the characters spoke. I felt like it was like just this fucking quippy, shitty, stupid way of talking. And I had a lot of concerns about the combat just because Final Fantasy 15, and by the end of this demo, honestly, those fears are kind of gone.
Same. I was really worried about the combat and the environment, and this demo completely dissuaded those fears.
I think this is maybe the best looking game I've ever seen, like in terms of just raw graphical fidelity.
I mean, it's got a lot going in its favor that it's like at night times, like in a dark place, so there's a lot of dynamic lighting, but I don't know, Red Dead exists.
I think this is my favorite looking game.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Red Dead can go suck shit.
Fair enough. I really like the combat system in this. It seems like a really good blend of the, I guess, animation flair of 15, like just how it looks, but also just the tactical elements of 13 with the character management and building stagger bars. So it seems like a really cool blend, and it's like even just having two characters, you get Barret and Cloud for one boss fight in this demo. Even with that little slice of the demo, you feel like there's a lot of depth there that you can
and like I
really get
actively
into.
felt like I was making decisions that really contributed, like because the first time I fought the boss, I don't know, like took me like 6 or 7 minutes, and then I went back the second time kind of with a game plan, and I like took it apart in like 3 minutes.
Same here,
and it felt good. I really like how they've integrated active time battle stuff, like where you have to build up, like your actions build up a meter, and then you can spend that meter on a spell or an item. Like it just feels so considered and designed, and I didn't know that Final Fantasy could feel like that anymore.
Yeah, it's really impressive. I really liked a lot of the world building little elements in there. There was a whole pile of posters put up in the station, and a real criticism I had with 15 was it just felt like acid drops everywhere.
Yep.
It was just not considered, nothing really melded together well. It was just gross. But this really feels like a place. And I like how there was a little poster of Stamp the Dog, this kind of book series or cartoon series, and then Barret in dialogue references Stamp the Dog.
Oh,
and
wow.
I just thought it was cool that they're referencing environmental stuff.
That's cool. In general, I thought like the dialogue was really good. Like it was fun. I thought, and the voice acting was really good as well. I love Jessie.
Oh, I hated Jessie.
Really? I thought she was cool.
She would. I mean, you would.
Fuck you, Niamh.
It's a real, I was kind of bummed out with her because, like, you have all this opportunity for characterization, and Jessie in the original was a little flirty, and she was kind of the tech girl, but they really double down on the flirty in this.
They did. Yeah,
to the point
did.
that she kind of just feels like a teenage boy wish fulfillment character and not really a character. And I don't mind flirty, but she literally said nothing else but flirting with Cloud.
That's not true.
Okay.
Good.
It was like a 40-minute demo. She spoke the most, and it was all about how she wanted to bone Cloud.
Niamh, there was like a couple of lines in there. It wasn't all of it.
Yeah, like, okay, no other character talked about how they wanted to fuck Cloud.
And look, they should. They should.
Every other character kind of cared about the mission, to the point that there's a bit in the elevator where Barret is there and he's talking about how much he cares about saving the planet and blowing up this reactor, and Jessie, who is also a member of Avalanche, who is there to blow up the reactor, stands next to Cloud, and she's just like rolling her eyes at Barret, and I was like, you're there for the same reason, what are you doing?
Yeah,
and she's
okay.
just like, well, I might be able to get some D, Niamh, so shut up.
She said that to you.
Yeah.
And she whispered in your ear.
Maybe they'll develop her more before.
But they kind of have to, I would hope.
You would hope, because like Aerith and Tifa are going to also be love interests for Cloud, and it's like kind of sucks that the only female character of Avalanche is going to be this.
That one shot
kind of
with
thing.
Aerith and Tifa, like holding Cloud from either side, does not give me a lot. Because I saw that was one of the shots I saw from the trailer, and I was like, fuck.
And it's just like, okay, I get it. Every female character just wants to fuck Cloud. And, like, I mean, he's pretty.
He's so pretty.
But, like, I mean, they could also care... Jessie could care about the mission she's on, maybe. And her tit armor is awful.
Her tit armor.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
But... Put that all aside, because I know someone's going to be like about all that stuff I said about Jessie.
It was me. I was like that, Niamh.
Yeah, I know. Generally, I really like this demo, and it really changed my feelings about. I was kind of the worries I had. It really flipped them, and I'm really excited for the game.
I'm nearly like I'm curious to see what like the actual meat of the game is, because the idea that a lot of it is going to be to this standard is kind of hard to imagine. Nearly, because like this was so scripted and tight.
Yeah, there was, see those screenshots of all those kind of side quests you can do?
No.
Yeah, so this is all obviously set in Midgar, and I really think they are still dropping the ball on communicating that aspect.
I think it's past the point where they're dropping the ball and they're actively misleading people.
It is, like, because it's the classic cover reimagined, like so if you don't know anything about this game except from what you've been seeing in like advertisement, and you don't like follow game news, and you just see that cover and all it says is Final Fantasy VII Remake, like you would pick that up expecting
100%.
a full game.
And it's just the first disc of the PlayStation 1 game.
Yeah, it's
we don't know what it is.
It's up to Midgar. It's up until they leave Midgar.
Have they definitely confirmed
that?
Yeah,
it says it on the back of the box in small enough writing. But it's like and even if they called it Final Fantasy VII Midgar Stories or something, but subtitles don't sell well or some shit. But I think if someone wanted to bring a case against Square Enix for selling them like misrepresenting this product, they would have a case on their hands.
Yeah. It is gross. Like it's weirdly anti-consumer. What do you think of the change? Did you see the change they made with the bomb and stuff?
No. What?
So in the original, it's that you go to the power plants and you blow it up.
Yeah.
In this, it's that you plant the bomb doesn't work, and then President Shinra gives the order to blow the power plant up.
Oh.
So he's trying to pin it on you.
Okay.
And I think that's stupid and bad.
I don't understand why he would like that. What difference does that make at that stage? Because they were going to blow it up.
Yeah, and it's weird because like in the original game, like it was a big part of like Barrett's character where he felt conflicted about this stuff. Like he felt conflicted about what he'd done because like he killed hundreds of people, you know. But then there's also a bit from later on in Final Fantasy VII where Shinra do orchestrate like this massive accident and blame it on Avalanche.
Yeah.
And so it seems to me what they want to do is they're trying to have it both ways, and they want to make it seem like Avalanche is this like, you know, semi-terrorist organization, but also absolve them of any wrongdoing. And it's really stupid. Like, it's just dumb.
But the intent was there.
Yeah, like, know? And so I don't, like... and
it's a weak absolution.
You gotta make it black and white, no grey area.
Yeah, and it's just... And it's weird because I have seen a lot of people being like, good, I don't want to play as mass murderers. And it's like, okay, but like, you know, Cloud did murder like 40 security guards in that one demo, you know? Like, he's still like a bad person if you want to look at it like that. I've seen people get what I feel like is way too bent out of shape about that as well. Like it's a detail, it doesn't matter that much, and I guess given how much I enjoyed this demo, I don't really mind, you know.
How do you feel about the Sephiroth foreshadowing really, really early on in this?
I'll have to see, because like he doesn't actually appear in the demo except for like the preview cutscene at the end. So like I'll hold judgment until I see how they actually do it. But I mean, complicated, honestly, because I feel like that feeling of tracking down Sephiroth in 7 and like the huge build to him, it is hard to have that because, you know, now he's like a secret boss in fucking Kingdom Hearts, and he's in Ehrgeiz, and he's in all these ridiculous, like he's basically Square Enix's like logo. But yeah, I think part of the storytelling is going to be lost if they're just like, here he is.
I'm really curious to see how they're going to make this feel satisfying narratively. Like if your end point is them leaving Midgar, just how you get nearly a triac structure out of a start of something.
Yeah, and like they're going to have to change stuff there as well, because the last boss of this game cannot be fucking Road Roller.
It could be one of those houses.
Yeah.
They're introducing that new character, so maybe there'll be like a mid-boss every chapter kind of thing.
I think there's a fight with President Shinra's son, Rufus. It's a one-on-one between him and Cloud near the end of the Midgar section. That could be a pretty cool showdown. I guess on the subject of Sephiroth as well, if Sephiroth gets introduced because like Cloud sees a vision of him and he's like Cloud, I think that would suck, because I think it's also kind of an important part with Cloud and Sephiroth, where Sephiroth like barely knows who Cloud is.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't really give a shit because Cloud's nothing to him, and I think that's important because that's like the build to him. You know, like you're literally nothing to this fucking guy. But yeah, way more positive than I thought I'd be. Bryan, what's your do you have any interest in this game or?
Nah. I watched Rebecca play it and it looked cool. I thought Barrett's voice was very good. I liked that he sang the Win Battle jingle at one point. Did you guys get that?
No.
Apparently he does it randomly, so you may or may not get it. I think if you play it again, you might get it. But he does like sing it to himself at one point, which I think is kind of cool. That does a lot of extra stuff.
I'd like a little more oomph when you win a battle. Because
Yeah.
I kind of find like Cloud puts away a sword and that's it.
Just got to collect the stuff.
You don't even collect it. It's just all auto.
It just it flies over to you.
Yeah. But I'd like just some little fanfare or something. But yeah, I was surprised. How you're feeling more positive on it, Niamh?
Yeah, I pre-ordered it. I was just like, okay, let's go.
Yeah, it's cool to see them actually like really commit to it. Bryan,
Yeah.
tell us about Fire Emblem Three Houses DLC.
Yeah, I got it. It's very, very fun. It's depending on how you play it, it's about 8 hours long. And it's 6 chapters, and it's very good. It's kind of like a reimagining of like maybe a chapter or 2 in, but it's you as the protagonist, Byleth, and the treehouse captains, and then one of their own from each of their houses, and then the 4 new characters, the Ashen Wolves, who live underground in Garrick Mach.
And is this like, how do you access this?
From the main menu.
Yeah, from the main
And
menu.
does your stats carry over? Or anything?
No, you get brand new stats, and you're all level 20, and you all have items ready to go. And
That's cool.
there's a tiny hub world you walk around underground in the abyss, but for the most part, the game kind of makes a lot of like inventory decisions for you,
Okay.
which is fine because you can play Fire Emblem like twice as much in the inventory as you do in the strategy if you want to. But this game is very much like, no, like here's a couple of missions with a story in between each mission. And you kind of get to learn a bit more about your protagonist, which is cool. And the 4 new characters introduced, the Ashen Wolves, are great. And they have a bunch of new classes that then get reintroduced into the main game. So the DLC is its own side story, but then it's a lot of extra stuff in the main game too.
Oh, cool.
And I've just started replaying the main game anyway, so all of that stuff kind of got like slotted in right away afterwards. It's blended in super well. And I think the 4 DLC characters will be recruitable in the main game as well.
They will, but only before time skip.
That's okay. I'll make it work. Because I'm a New Game Plus as well, all my stats have carried over, so my social links with a lot of the characters are already like up to A rank. So it means I can focus on the new characters as well, which is really, really handy. That game is so replayable.
Yeah.
But some of the missions are really, really fun because I know a lot of the missions in Fire Emblem are just kind of like, let's do a mock battle. The bandits are here. We gotta drive them away. They always do that stuff. But with the missions in the Abyss, there's a really fun one where you're being chased by a monster in a dungeon, and you have to keep pushing levers to open up gates and then closing other ones behind you.
Oh, cool.
So you have to move all your characters into one kind of like cage and then close one lever to open another lever and then move them along as well, while also trying, to stay alive.
Yeah.
There's another one where the 4 Ashen Wolf characters get poisoned and you have to keep them alive, so you have to heal them while also trying to take on a kind of like mid-tier big bad. And then
So what are the Ashen Wolf characters themselves like?
okay,
They're cool. You got Happy.
yeah,
Is one called Happy?
yeah, Happy.
Hapi.
Okay.
She's the tan girl with the red hair. She's super cool. She's got magic powers. There's the other girl who has magic powers as well, but I think one is dark magic and one is light magic, but I couldn't really tell the difference.
Yeah, they all have 4 new classes, and they're
Yeah.
kind of like a merged class. It's kind of like 2 together.
Yeah.
I think Cappy is like a Pegasus Knight with black magic. No, Constance has black magic, and I think Cappy has.
That's it.
Yeah.
And Constance is on a Pegasus Knight, but her nickname is Coco. And then Happy is on a horse.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
it.
then the other 2 lads are Yuri, who's the dude with the eyeliner, and everyone's super into Yuri. And then the other guy is
Baltus?
Yeah, Baltus, and he's 27.
I've played this as well, by the way. This is why I know.
Yeah, and like this dude is just like big open
Ripped.
shirt, ripped guy with a fucking chain across his chest, and he's having a blast.
Good for him.
And then Yuri is like, I might be the bad guy. And like, I really, really like how the game makes you pick his alternate costume, and he has like curly shoes. He's wearing full armor, but his armor like shoes have like a curl on them, like Aladdin.
And people prefer the eyeliner guy to the open shirt guy.
It's 50-50.
Mm-hmm. I mean, depending on who you like, you
Like-
know.
Me,
Like-
any given day, I could go for one or the other.
All 4 of the Ashen Wolves are super fucking hot,
Yeah,
and that's
true.
the point. And like,
I mean, that was like a prerequisite
They were
with
put
DLC,
underground,
isn't it?
yeah,
And-
for sexy crimes.
Just like that guy who was like deported from Saudi Arabia for being too handsome.
for being too handsome, yeah.
Fucking sometimes look at pictures of that guy and they're like, they were right.
And so 2 of them are kind of like fully clothed, and then the other 2 are kind of have like the belly buttons on display. So they really know what they're going for, and it's working.
Saying that only one of the characters can be same-sex romanced, so none of the girls can. And in fairness, like if you're like girl same-sex, we got a lot.
Yeah, we do.
Boy
We got
same-sex
loads.
got so shafted, like nothing good going on there at all. But Yuri can be romanced by the male player character.
Cool.
Yeah, you can. The bad guy is just a shitty priest with a mullet. No real opinion.
Niamh, what do you think about like just letting people romance whoever in those games? Like, do you
Yeah,
that
I think they
that's
should. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like, why not? Because it's a thing where you have these characters like, say, Yuri or like Edelgard, and it's like none of them will ever be gay. They'll always be bisexual because they'll be romanceable by both male and female. And then there will be just some characters who will only ever be straight, and there's never any only ever gay characters.
Yeah, because like that's where I kind of stumble with that conversation, because I don't know how I feel about them like having just like no gay characters. But then I also think like, I guess it's good to just let
Just
people
make them
do
all.
their fucking thing, and whatever your headcanon is, your headcanon is.
Like if you're making 5 of them bisexual, just make them all bisexual,
Yeah,
and then no
yeah.
one can, then everyone's happy kind
Yeah,
of thing, and
yeah,
you haven't
I-
closed off any routes.
I think there should be options for everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, I've gone back into the main game now, and that game is the gift that keeps on giving. I really, really like Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's maybe the best game of 2019, some
Yeah.
would say.
Some would say, yeah.
Yeah, at least 2 out of 3 people at this table.
Yeah.
It's got the Queen's stamp of approval, and who needs a jester's approval? No one.
Guys, you've been going to the fucking Queen Well so much this year, and I'm getting pretty fucking sick of it.
Well, you could do your Dark Prince if you want.
Yeah.
Oh, I have plans for that.
Oh, yeah?
Dark plans.
Just for everyone listening, that was Niamh who said that and not me. I know she sounded like nearly identical, but that actually wasn't me. That wasn't my voice. Wasn't it, not Niamh?
The darkest plans.
That was actually me that time. Guys, I played Granblue Fantasy Versus.
I'm really curious about this game. This is what I have no idea what it is. What genre is this game?
Fighting. 2D. It's
Gran-
an Arc System Works game.
But
What is Granblue?
no, because I've seen it and it was like a side-scrolling fighter. Is this like a
Oh, okay. So, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
This game is a 2D fighting game, like Persona 4 Arena, like Guilty Gear, like any of that shit.
okay?
It is based on the Granblue universe, which is a universe I know absolutely nothing about. It's an insanely popular mobile game in Japan. There's a lot of very attractive characters in it for whatever you're into. They know what they're doing. And it's a massively, massively popular game. And I wasn't really interested in it because I wasn't really that into the look of the characters, at least not compared to some Arc's other games. And But I kind of ended up just... There was nothing really out recently new that I was that interested in, so I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll take a chance on Granblue Fantasy Versus, and I'm glad I did, because this game is absolutely fantastic. This is such a good fighting game. Unlike a problem I have with a lot of Arc System Works games is, like, even me, and like I like fighting games, I play a lot of fighting games, there is a learning curve I feel like I very rarely reach the top of. Like, I always talk about Guilty Gear, and I've been playing Guilty Gear for like nearly 20 years. I still don't have a grasp on how to like really competitively play Guilty Gear. Like, I'm sure I can beat casual players at it, but like if you ever brought me to anyone who even knew remotely what they're doing, I just get destroyed. And that's because Guilty Gear is like just insane with its systems on systems, and same with BlazBlue and stuff like that. Dragon Ball FighterZ was a bit more accessible, but that was still a 3-on-3 hyper fighter.
Yeah.
Granblue Fantasy Versus is like way more grounded and methodical. It's like you pick a character. There's 11 characters in this game, and at the start it's like, wow, that's not that many. But they're all so well defined, and you pick them and you immediately see what they're going for. It's like, oh, this character has a lot of moves that like move them forward. This is an aggressive rushdown character. This character has big heavy hits. This is a grappler. This one is like really good at long range. And, you know, without investing a lot of time, you start to figure out the strategies of these different characters, and it's fun, like really, really fun, to the point that like when I was getting it, I was just kept bouncing from character to character because I was enjoying them all so much, and like their playstyles all felt so distinct. I settled on Fairy. She's a young girl with a whip. She's very good. I got the Japanese version because I am an idiot, because I had heard that the Asian version of the game was fully localized, and I didn't realize that the Asian version and the Japanese version are different versions.
There's an Oceania version usually.
Yeah. And I already had a Japanese PSN account set up, and so I got it. And turns out that's a bummer, because the localization of this game is fantastic. It's like all the voice acting is like really solid, and like I can't read any of the dialogue, and it's a shame because some of it's really good. There's one character called Lo Wayne, and he's like kind of a scamp rogue character, and it's him and two of his buddies, and they just look like an attractive South Korean boy band wearing cat ears. But at the start of every fight, they like huddle in a group, and they have specific dialogue for each of their opponents. They're like, oh god, this guy's pretty big, what are we gonna do, and like it's really funny and weird. And then like their winning cutscene is them at a bar talking about the fight that just happened, and it's really, really good. Presentation's amazing. It's like Arc System Works have just nailed, you know, this 3D 2D style. It works beautifully in this. What you saw, Bryan, is the RPG mode.
Okay.
And
like, it looks like Code of Princess or one of those games.
Yes,
doesn't
it looks exactly like that, and it's fun and it's good.
Cool.
And I haven't played too much of it because it's in Japanese and I don't know what the fuck is going on. But it's like fully animated, like they've used the in-game character models, and also animated a bunch of just weird side characters and like individual cutscenes. I think this game is just like the purest example of why people think that Arc System Works are just the best like fighting game creators on the planet right now, and I love it. It's turned into the game that I throw on for like, you know, an hour every evening and like do some ranked matches. And that was a tough climb because I was just fighting Japanese players for the first couple of weeks. But today, the American server, it launched in America, so the American servers were open, and I fucking cleaned house because no one knew how to play it. And I felt like a big man, a big, strong man.
That's Fairy.
Yep, that's Fairy.
Okay.
Yep.
I think it's out in Europe next week as well, and because it's coming out on PS4 and it's coming out on Windows as well.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to pick this up at some point.
I think you'd really like this, Bryan. And like the RPG mode's really cool, and it's just a really good ass game.
No, I do like side-scrolling fighters with RPG mechanics, like
and like those parts
like
feel
that.
good.
Yeah,
like because remember Guilty Gear kind of did some stuff like that in its tutorials.
Yeah.
I thought they felt awful. This feels great. Like it's really good. Honestly, it's probably my favorite playing Arc Sys fighter. That I feel
like you say this every time they release a new game.
That's because the last three were Zerd, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, and now this, and it's been an escalation of okay, and I think it's because they made it a little simpler each time, so my dumb brain can understand it.
I wonder how long the RPG mode in it is. Like, if someone just really liked these characters but didn't want to do the fighting mode, could they get enough playtime out of the RPG?
I don't know. It seemed extensive enough to what I played, because I know it's the kind of thing where you're meant to play as every character, and I played it for about an hour, and I was still playing as the first character. And then, like, it has all this stuff, like, you form a party, and I think you can... I don't know about any of this, but I think I heard you can, like, raid dungeons and find new, more powerful weapons and all this kind of stuff. And it's cool. It's really, really cool. Bryan,
Yeah.
tell us about Prey.
Prey. I finally got to play Prey. I got it for €8, which is a crazy price for a game of that standard. Like, it's a real shame it didn't get more praise for Prey at the time. I played it for about 8 hours, and it's a great game, but it's not for me.
Coward.
Do you want me to keep playing it, or do you want to load it?
No, I want you to shit on it.
I don't want it. Like, okay. I like immersive sims, but I like light immersive sims. I guess my version of immersive sim is something like Phantom Pain or Breath of the Wild, where you have... Now,
Don't think.
now, they're immersive sims in the sense that they're systems driven. I'm not talking about like full-on games like System Shock and
Deus Ex.
and Deus Ex. Because when you type in immersive sims, like, it gives you a big list, and it has like actual immersive sims and then light immersive sims.
I mean, I guess that's just all genres.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, for some reason it has Bioshock as an immersive sim, and you're like, because of the two choices.
I mean, I get this DNA that's carried over there, but yeah.
And so, like, there's things I like about this game that are in other games. Like, I like the gameplay of Bioshock, and this is in it, like, especially at the beginning where you just have the wrench. I like the exploring a space station survival horror aspect that's in Dead Space series. That's also in this. I like the alternative retro future of the world, where JFK was never assassinated and they kept doing space travel in the 60s, and then they encountered these aliens, and then their tech got real good, and you're just in a space station that looks like a late 1960s, like, Grand Plaza. Like, that stuff's fantastic. This game is really fucking hard, and not in a fun, satisfying way. Just like, you do not engage with the enemies if you want to, like, progress further.
Bryan, you're their prey.
You really are. Not a fan of the basic enemy, which is just a tiny, like,
Mimic,
and it's about it. Sometimes it stretches up to your height, but for the most part, it goes as high as your ankles. So what you do is you point your camera right down at the lower bottom of the screen, and you just whack the wrench. And that's a weird way to play a first-person game. Like, you do get long-range weapons as the game progresses, and you get, like, guns that don't shoot bullets. That blue gun is fantastic. And the game definitely does encourage a lot of, just avoiding them and the stealth. Playing first-person games in stealth is definitely, you either are used to it or you're not. I'm not used to it. I know if you play the Dishonored games, you're probably super used to it. Or, like, Thief is another one, another example I can think of. Like, I think of, this game is definitely designed as a legacy genre for people who are familiar with Thief and Dishonored, and I'm just not one of those people.
It's definitely much harder than either of those games. It's like the hardest immersive sim I've played. Yeah. And I think it's because even though it is an immersive sim, you are quite limited in how you approach things. Like, you could not sneak all the way through a level and get what you wanted. You need to engage the enemies in some degree. And if you've spread your skill tree very broadly, that can get you into situations where you do not have enough stuff to deal with it. So
because you're a jack of all trades, a master of none. Like, you just can't. Yeah, you can't do anything.
It's such a fine line to walk, because like, that's a problem. But then, like, if you make it too forgiving, it can also make that stuff feel kind of pointless. And that's what I ran into with Bioshock a lot of the time.
Yeah, like I knew going in not to spread my upgrades very wide. So I kind of had a plan, and that got me through it. But I think if someone was to go into this, it's kind of like hard to the point that it's not fun, because you spend a lot of the time dying and go, okay, I'll try this again. Okay, I'll try this again, kind of thing. So
yeah, like for me, the way I played it was I would just find the scrappiest way to get from A to B with the least confrontation.
Yeah, it kind of sounded like it never quite clicked with you.
No,
because I've played games like that before where I feel like I'm playing the game wrong the entire time.
Yeah, and like the game introduces all its systems, you know, very slowly, but it keeps stacking them to the point where you're like, how are you even supposed to like play this build at this point in the game, or like work towards like, because like about a couple hours in they introduced that you could play as a psychic, but at this point you've already been investing in a different like role that, and like to get more upgrades you need to do a lot of side quests, but
to survive those side quests you need to upgrade.
It just has a really not fun gameplay loop unless like you're just into that kind of genre.
Niamh, you love this game, didn't you?
I really like this game. I went in and I was like, I'm going to invest in tech, and I really decided to make the turrets my best friend.
Oh yeah, the turrets are amazing.
To the point that I would know where a bunch of enemies were. I would walk all the way back, get a turret and drop it. Walk all the way back, get a turret and drop it. Go around and I'd make a trap for them. Then I'd go trigger them and run to my turrets. They would start firing, and then I'd use my glue gun to slow them down to let my turrets just go for them.
That's so fucking cool.
But I would spend a lot of, like, that's how, like, I was like, I'm going to get through this game carrying a turret with me all the time, and that's how I'm going to survive it, and that's the way I did it, and I knew from the start that was how I was going to play.
And, like, that was satisfying to you.
Yeah, no, I loved it. I thought it was great. But I can totally see how if you go in and you're like, I want to experiment with stuff, you're actually going to hit a brick wall.
You need a game plan right away.
Yeah, or you need to drop the difficulty down.
It's an immersive sim for people who are super into immersive sims.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. There's some cool like scenarios where you can only where like there's air vents in a lot of the major areas, so you can just only do air vents and use the glue gun to make like a hill to climb up to the higher air vents, and so you could definitely stealth your way through certain areas, but
you also have to invest in your lifting ability to get like to lift stuff away out of the vents. But so you kind of need to know that as well. So
wow.
And
I think I'm gonna have to give this a shot at some point. It sounds really interesting.
I'll lend it to you. Like it's
okay.
It's a game.
It's a game.
It's cool that it exists. It's insane.
That's the normal difficulty. I think there is an easier difficulty.
I went down to easy, and then I went down to like casual. Although maybe it needs to reload itself into it.
There we go, Bryan, casual gamer.
Did you like the start, the kind of bait and switch?
Oh, that was brilliant.
It's very good.
Because it's like a really angry Portal. Like this game is so angry at you. Like how dare you?
Guys, we all played Dreams.
Go on.
No, Niamh, why don't you go on?
I love Dreams.
I love Dreams.
We love Dreams. Do you love Dreams, Bryan?
Yeah, it's alright. I definitely don't love it.
Oh man.
I know. Bryan, I'm gonna, after that praise section, I think it's probably time you kind of maybe step outside for a little bit.
I like Fire Emblem. That's fucking amazing.
It's alright. Okay, yeah. I was talking to you guys about Dreams before, but I think this game's fucking incredible.
Do your elevator pitch.
It's YouTube if every video was a game.
There we go. And it's true.
In all the shitty and brilliant ways that is a thing. I like to just sit in front of Dreams and just scroll through fucking garbage where I'm like running around the Simpsons house as Peter Griffin and just being like, oh, okay. And it's so trashy like that. But then you play things in it that are genuinely very clever and sweet. I love Please Hug Me.
Please Hug Me is really good.
I think that's fucking brilliant.
And some of the survival horrors they have are fantastic.
Oh, really? You gotta send me them. Did you ever get my messages?
No.
No.
But then I found the one where you're in first person or you can be in third person as the girl in the dinosaur costume, and it's the one with all the like red organs, like the tentacles and stuff.
Oh, that one, yeah.
What's it called?
I have no idea.
Something the Evil? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's done like a VHS cursed video.
Yeah. Niamh, I'd love to hear more about your experience with it.
So Dreams is like a weird one because it's kind of half Creation Suite, half, I don't know, YouTube games.
Yeah, for me it's like watching a Vine compilation or a TikTok compilation.
So I originally started off trying to make something in Dreams, and after 4 hours of tutorials and trying to put a cone on a cube, I went, I'm not doing this anymore. And then I went and played some games and I had a much better experience. And even attempting those 4 hours of tutorials, you can see the amount of work someone needs to go into to make the most basic ass shit in this.
Yeah.
And I played some insane stuff. Like I played someone's imagining of what Hideo Kojima's Silent Hills would be. And this is like a full game that someone made.
Oh, and you start off in the police station.
Yeah, and you play as like
like
they modeled Norman Reedus' face and they got the mole right and everything, but he looks shit because like they look like Play-Doh men.
And like, a lot of this looks shit. Like if someone doesn't put the work in, everything in Dreams looks like Play-Doh.
Yeah, and it's like they've like you can record voice samples, so they've recorded the Twin Peaks music off a phone or something, and they're continuously playing that, and they're just quoting Twin Peaks. So it's like pretentious wank, but like as if it was Hideo
But someone
Kojima.
fucking made this.
Yeah.
Someone just took their free time and and that's amazing.
But it was insane. It goes from so many things, like where you can like answer questions in a police station. There's a big boss fight, and like it sucks. Like you, like it's just a big spider that runs at you, and you have to shoot your gun, but you can only aim in the direction you're standing. So you're trying to like you have to figure out this trick to basically not die every time this thing runs at you. But I played this full-on game of someone's reimagining of it, and it was bad, but it was also amazing that someone made it.
Because the fingerprints are all over it in a way that we just don't get to see with games. You know, like the broken seams of Dreams are everywhere, and I love seeing it. Like there's a bunch of there's just a bunch of stuff I never thought about. Like a big popular thing on Dreams is someone has made a really accurate version of Mario from Mario 64. He has all the moveset of Mario 64. He has the slide jump, he has the triple jump, he has all this kind of stuff. And I played one version which was that, except they hadn't added a shadow under Mario. And trying to play 3D Mario, trying to navigate 3D platforms without a shadow is literally fucking impossible because you can't tell where he's going to land.
Yeah.
And just seeing how that small, like, that tiny little, like, thing they left out ruined the game was so interesting, you know, and I love it for that reason. Now, I think there is actually like genuinely good stuff on Dreams too.
Oh, definitely.
Ball World Adventure.
Oh yeah,
that's our game of the year. I don't give a shit. What if Last of Us 2? Go fuck yourself. Ball World Adventure.
I do really like that you could turn off the music and it's just like atmosphere.
But the sound design's really good of it as well, because like you roll onto like a wooden surface and it's like, but then you roll onto like a metal surface and it's like.
Did you play the game where you play a robot trapped in a cube, so it's a 6-sided environment,
cubic,
and you can freeze time and rotate the maze and navigate out of from one cube to another? That's insane.
One game I played was just called, it was something like Kermit the Frog in Hell.
Yeah.
And it's just Kermit the Frog holding a guitar, and if you hold the button he starts playing the guitar, but the entire time he's just going just over and like it's just some dude who recorded himself in his room screaming.
Have you seen the one where it's the Ice Age baby and you shoot it?
Oh
no!
I saw like you kill the Ice Age baby or something like that.
So it's coming towards you, but when you shoot it, you fly off from the blast of the gun, so you die. But then I saw another one where someone had made Jotaro Kujo doing it.
I love all the characters in it. My favorite thing to do is type in my favorite games. Like I typed in Resident Evil and played a Resident Evil medley where you start off as Claire and then you get to an exit and then you're Jill and you have a machine gun and you have to kill zombies. Then you get to an exit and then you're Leon. Then you go again and you're Ashley. Then you're Nemesis. And like sometimes nothing happens. Like I was running around with Ashley with Leon behind me and then it's just Mr. X coming behind you and he doesn't do anything, but it's so fun.
When has this existed before? Like, when has anything like this happened, you know? And, like, I really think they've invented something really special. And, like, it bums me out because Sony have no fucking idea how to market this game at all. It released to zero fanfare. And Niamh, you brought this up when we went for drinks. I'm like, it's so true. The cover of this game is the most just nothing cover of all time.
Yeah, it looks like an advertisement for like laundry detergent or something.
It could be the background of a mobile phone ad.
Yeah. Have you played the fridge running game?
No.
Is your fridge running? It's only like 10 seconds long, which is like the perfect length for a Dreams game for me. And it's just a wide shot of a kitchen with all the kitchen appliances, and you're like, okay, and then you move the controller and the fridge just goes so fucking fast and he has legs and you can run him around the kitchen, but then eventually you realize you can go out the door and you can run around the garden, but then the piano falls on him. And that's the whole game.
That's amazing. And you know, like something like that, like there's no real landscape that could exist because, like, you know, you can't charge money for something like that. You could throw it on the internet, but no one will see it because it's the internet. But with Dreams, like, you do have this weird portal to just see these fucking weird, fascinating things, and like I love it. Brian,
yeah,
you don't like this game as much.
No, like it's great. I think €40 is still a lot of money for what you're essentially playing is beta games.
I would have happily paid €60 for this.
Really?
Yeah, same.
I'd pay 20.
What is it about it then? Because like
you have to trudge through a lot of shit to get the good stuff.
See, I think I enjoy the shit trudging also.
Me too. And I think they do a good job of highlighting what are actually playable games, you know.
I find the opposite.
But I like the shit. Like I put in just Hideo Kojima and I played a version of Death Stranding. And then there was another one that was just a video called Pet Stranding. And it was like it was the opening of Death Stranding, but it was Guillermo del Toro and he was a bull, and then he goes down the tunnel to meet Mads Mikkelsen and it's like a cat, so it's like Mads Kittensen, but the cat's head is completely off the body. It's just really funny. It's a lot of work for dumb jokes and I really appreciate it. It's like a meme factory.
Yeah.
I had a boss fight with Sans from Undertale and I was playing as Wallace from Wallace and Gromit.
That game's amazing. I think this is a great game that, like, if you had a bunch of friends over and it's just gone midnight, you put this on and everyone just takes turn playing a game. This is
I literally, like, I just play it and fucking hours melt. Like, I can't stop playing it. When I play it, I feel like I felt like the first time I went on YouTube. You know, I was just like, oh my fucking god.
It's like, what is this? And sometimes you'll get a really quality experience and sometimes you'll just get like garbage, but it'll be like, I just keep thinking about the person making it. Like when they made that Death Strand, like the Silent Hills game, like they use the controller speaker and there's a voice talking to you. It's like, you, the player. Yes, you. You know, and it's like just little bits like
I've
that.
I've seen so many shitty games break the fourth wall.
I know, it's so shitty and it's
Did you play Opposite Day?
Yeah.
Oh no, I
haven't. That
haven't.
game is so frustrating.
Okay.
Yeah, the game's just a big giant troll and it just keeps trolling and trolling.
But like, it's kind of obnoxious in a way that I don't know if he realizes, but maybe that's part of it too. But it does stuff like stand here for 5 minutes and nothing will happen. Or no, it says stand and then you do it and it's like, well, you did it, nothing happened. But maybe if you stand here for another 5 minutes and then you do it, and he's like, no, nothing was actually going to happen that time. However, and it's just, I got to 20 minutes and I was like, fuck you, and I left.
I really like the one where, I think it's in the same game where it goes, you were trapped, and it has text coming up on screen, and it goes, press X, but it's like typing out the text very slowly, and it goes, press X 50 times.
Yeah.
Or press triangle once.
That's from a creator called Casey Jones, and a lot of his games just seem to be about, like, infuriating the player.
Yeah, just
like
testing your
patience. There's one
patience.
called Rant Stream, and it's a streamer, and you click on it, and it's a streamer just very quietly voicing his frustration with very minor problems, and it just goes on, and you keep expecting something to happen, and it just doesn't.
Yeah. I played a lot of the Sonic clones and the Mario clones, but I don't really like the platforming. To me, it's the platforming from Little Big Planet, which is... I don't like the weight and flow to those games.
Well, I think that's how the platforming in those games is designed. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's up to the player to make that better.
Yeah, I play games where you're on space, and so they give you like space jumping.
Yeah.
And they feel fine, but I just find that like with me, I've played about 5 hours of it, but I'd say about 2.5 of that hours was amazing, and the other 2.5 was kind of just skipping until I got a good game.
Yeah. And like, I guess what I like about it as well is like, say with the Mario games were shit, and then someone uploaded this really well-coded Mario, you know?
Yeah.
And now I'm interested to see, like, you know, is someone going to take that and improve on it? Like, where is this stuff going? Like, the game just released, and I know it was embedded for like 2 years, but like, if a community takes to this, like, I can't wait to see the kind of shit people are going to do in this.
It was only in public beta for 6 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the games made by the devs are really, really good. I really, really like Tearaway, which is the other thing they made that wasn't Little Big Planet.
Yeah.
But their own games, like the Please Don't Hug Me game is one of their games.
Yeah.
Like, they're just really good at like, here's a 10-second game, go.
I played that like 8 times on stream, and people started getting really annoyed.
It's brilliant.
Yeah. I didn't like the intro to it.
Oh, the breathy English woman.
The breathy English woman telling you to tear down the wall of doubt and chase your creative spark, all of which was very literal. I thought that was terrible.
I thought it was fun. Just like, what is it? It's a spark of creativity. And you're like, yes, it is. It's so cute. It's like, it's so on the nose and it's so lame, but it's also, there's something endearingly like,
I think
you're going to make things, magical things, and then like it's Naruto.
So obnoxious.
But that's what's funny about it. It's like the spark of imagination, and then you play like Naruto Don't Kiss Me.
They're just making their meme
we
games.
both agree that Naruto Don't Kiss Me was so disappointing.
I know, because I stopped because I wanted to get a smooch from Naruto, and he doesn't try. He doesn't even lift you up, and he's a very big Naruto.
It's just like slashing him with your samurai sword. I love Dreams. I really, really love Dreams, and I'm looking forward to just checking on it. Like there is some stuff. Like I think once you do play enough of those games, you start to see the common features in them, and even just the common feel, which you kind of mentioned, Bryan. But like I am just fascinated with it, and I would really encourage people to check it out. It seems like I haven't touched the game making section of it.
No,
like,
never will.
No, and I have no interest. But like even I was listening to Beastcast, and Vinny spent 30 hours on a game, and I went and I played it. This game takes a lot of work.
Yeah, you really need to be in the right mindset.
I have a lot of free time and just the willingness to spend that free time. But I think it's fucking awesome. Like this game has really like caught me off guard and blown me away, and I was blown me away in a way I was not expecting. I just said the game blew me, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, had a good run there for a second. Quicktime Events. Platinum Game announces their first self-published game, Project GG.
Yeah, this is cool. Good for them.
Yep, that's so awesome for them.
Yeah, because after stuff like Scalebound, they really, really need something that they made themselves and they own it.
What do you think an Unchained Kamiya is?
I hate the word unchanged to describe anyone now after
It's
Death Stranding.
appropriate with Kamiya.
Okay.
You play it, it's a character action game with him in it.
No, it's a character. You just play as a fist. And halfway through the fist, it picks up a sword.
It's a game dev, like, just walking around, like punching through other game development offices. Especially the headquarters.
Did you guys watch the trailer for Project GG?
No.
Oh, it's like a kaiju game, like a mech fighting a kaiju.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Sweet.
it's a big cityscape, and then a big monster comes down, and then a robot that kind of looks like Ultraman, but he's all like you can't really see him. He's in shadow, is like fighting the kaiju, but it looks like a kaiju game to some degree. I
Is
don't
there
know
any,
how it's going to play
gameplay
it.
in there?
No, it's just like a
concept?
teaser.
Okay.
Yeah, but it looks cool. Looks big in scale.
Yeah, because they teased the logo, but then did they show it at PAX or something? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I think the trailer came out along with the logo and stuff.
Oh, okay.
It was weird because it took a while to find the trailer buried in all of this, but
See, I hadn't
it's
seen
there.
the trailer going around at
Yeah,
all.
I just saw like, a shiny font.
Yeah, I was wondering where I was like, are you guys going to mention the big monster? And I'm like, no.
No.
But it looked cool.
Yeah, also just while we're on Platinum Games, they announced a new studio in Tokyo that they're going to make service games for consoles.
Cool.
Yeah. Keep the lights on.
GDC postponed due to the coronavirus.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I heard it was going to be cancelled outright. It's good that it's just delayed. They're just going to wait and see how things go.
Yeah, they're going to do it in summer instead, but good choice. Like, I think last year it was 30,000 people were at GDC, and before they cancelled it, like, the people who had pulled out were Sony, Microsoft, Epic Games, Kojima Productions, Unity, Activision Blizzard, Amazon, Facebook, and Oculus.
Wow.
Like, so many people had independently pulled out that
it makes sense.
it was the right move.
And like it's a game developers conference. Like apparently, like it sounds like that was way more focused on like just people networking and applying for jobs than any of the big trade shows. So if the people aren't there, it's kind of like, what do you got?
They're offering full refunds for it as well, and the Game Developers Choice Awards and the Independent Games Festival, the award shows they were going to do, they're going to stream them.
That's cool.
On the day they would have had it, which is March 16th.
Yeah.
Dead or Alive's hair-raising microtransactions shave... Niamh, did you write this?
Read it?
Say it, John.
Dead or Alive's hair-raising microtransactions shave a lot off gamers' wallets.
What does...
Niamh, how high were you when you wrote that? Or did you steal it from somewhere?
Only a smidge. No, I did not. That was my genius.
Jesus Christ.
It's got a real creative flourish to it.
Thank you. Koei Tecmo with like Dead or Alive 6, I think they're... Is it 6? I'm pretty sure it's 6. Have been kind of well known for really gouging people with microtransactions.
Dead or Alive 6 fucking sucks. I hate it. I hate it. And I hate it on a bunch of different levels. First of all, they came out and they're like, it's not going to be about the titties anymore. Okay? And it's like, okay, if it's not going to be about the titties, don't make it about titties. Fine. Like, I like titties, but okay, that's the way you're going to take it. Then they come out, a bunch of fucking titty games it's ever been. So why even say that? But then it's like all the fucking costumes and all the shit that makes it a worthwhile titty game is locked behind just fucking paid DLC. Dead or Alive for the fucking PS2, you could unlock fucking costumes all goddamn day in that game, and it was an amazing summer, okay? Now you pay for everything and there's nothing of value to like make it worthwhile. Like we didn't get anything, we just lost stuff, and they've killed the Dead or Alive franchise, but it doesn't matter because they're just like selling all the shit to fucking crazy people who are going to pay like $5 for a costume and $1 to change someone's hair. And to be specific, that's $1 to change hair, and then if you want to change it again, you have to pay another $1 because these people are fucking insane and we're letting them. It's our fault. I bought this fucking game.
Why?
Because I'm sad and lonely. Like,
I really like that the thing that really was just the last straw for people was the $1 hair change. Like when they...
No, not the $7 wedding dresses.
Yeah, because they have 4 season passes, which range from like, I think like €80 to €90 for a season pass. And all the costumes are locked into that pass. Or they were until you got these tickets. And then these tickets you can buy and use to get the hair. And then the $1 hair change that isn't permanent. Anyway,
did you guys see how much all the DLC for this game combined is?
No, how much?
Slightly under $2,000.
Wow.
There's someone who's paid all of that.
Dead or Alive was cool, man. Like, not in a good way, but it fulfilled a purpose, and I liked it, and it's dead now. It's dead, and it's never coming back.
Dead and not alive.
Yeah.
Is that it?
They should just change it to dead. Like, they're going to make it Dead or Alive 7 because they're making loads of money off this. But, like, even the new characters, they suck. Like, they're really bad. And then, like, there's animations in this that have been there since the PlayStation 2. Like, there's literally animations in this game that are 20 years old. And they think I don't know, but I fucking know. I'm very upset.
It's okay. I just wanted to put that story in there so you could read that headline.
I liked it.
Yeah, Niamh, that headline has a real... It sure feels like someone with a lot of innocence to writing. God bless you.
Thanks.
Resident Evil 3 demo coming soon.
That's it. That's the news. They just said on their Twitter that it's coming soon, and they reiterated the fact again on a live stream they did today where they showed off a bit of the game. The demo's coming soon.
When's that came out? It's out the first
April.
week of April. So the very beginning of April.
It's either the 3rd or the 23rd. I'm blanking. This is live fact checking.
I'm really, really excited about this game.
Me too. I can't wait.
I'm very happy for you both.
You're not going to get it?
April 3rd.
I might get the fever when it actually comes out, and I might just splurge and get it. But right now, I have zero interest in it.
Oh, it looks so good. I love Jill's new like little extra dash you can do. So if you time it right, you can just like swerve out of the way of a zombie, and explosive red barrels are back. That's great.
Yes.
Love blowing up zombies. Very good.
They're just
So fun.
Explosive barrels in a video game. Fucking yeah, Capcom.
I love it.
Look, people decided that they were too like gauche. Like, okay, we've blown up enough barrels, but I love a barrel explosion.
In the last game, I
good.
shot a red barrel and it did nothing, and I was like, bad game.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Finally, we can agree that's a bad game.
I just want a big, tall man to follow me around a small box.
Mm-hmm. Nemesis seems like he's gonna be on your ass. He's doing sweet slides to get in front of you.
Have they showed much Nemesis stuff?
They showed a
bit,
really,
yeah.
really cool clip
And, like,
of him busting through a wall.
Does it look like he's kind of the same idea as
It's
Mr. X?
it's even
No,
more aggressive
more
and more
aggressive.
intelligent.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know the way Mr. X, all he did was just, like...
Dum, dum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems like Nemesis has, like... It seems like he's got his own AI options where, like, depending on what you're doing,
That's
he might
good
react.
because like the point Mr. X like fell apart for me was the point where you just realize the limitations of him, and it's just like, oh, now I'm in a fucking Benny Hill cartoon.
But John, shoot off his hat, he goes a tiny bit faster.
That's really good. Yeah, that's really, really good.
And then he's like, "Where's my hat?"
Yeah, like you really pissed him off, so he's gonna go like 20% faster now.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll play the game. Like, I don't know. I'll see. See what else is out that month.
Yeah, games are weird right now.
Yeah, it's been weird, but I don't know if I would have got Dreams if there was other stuff coming out.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I like having the chance to like deep dive on some weirder stuff. Speaking of deep diving on weird stuff, emails.
I like emails.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I know I've been dismissive of them, but
You've been very dismissive of them.
now I think emails are the greatest thing in the world.
Okay, what happened?
I read some emails and they were brilliant.
Oh no way! Seriously?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, Brian?
Yeah.
Would it ever be possible for me to send you an email?
Your email address is blocked, but feel free to.
Okay.
You had too many opinions.
I do have a lot of opinions.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear me talk about Dead or Alive 6?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
But I just think if someone else had an opinion and they wanted to give us that opinion or just ask us something, they could email us at askletsfightaboss@gmail.com.
askletsfightaboss@gmail.com. Niamh, what kind of stuff could I send there?
Photos of your pets.
I'm so glad
yeah,
she ended
pets.
that sentence in pets.
Maybe a titty.
No,
don't send a titty.
Niamh, you're fucking playing with fire.
No, don't ever send the titties. Send dogs.
There is a reason I turned off my DMs on Twitter.
We have a folder called Weird People and
Oh my god.
No, Brian,
do
don't
we?
tell them about weird people. Don't tell them about weird people. Oh boy.
just don't. We don't care if you're horny. If you have a cute dog, that's all that matters.
If you've like a fun story, if you have a word of advice, but like not anything like
you can
too
fuck
targeted.
off with your word of advice. I'll tell you that much right now.
like not for any of us, but just in general.
Yeah, like if you figured out something and you want to shout it at the world, we're here.
If you have a good recipe, maybe I'll make it. I probably won't, but
we also deal in very casual, non-serious life advice.
Yes.
Yes.
Based on our own personal experiences.
Based on our own personal experience. Now, as we've talked about before, there's kind of a level that we just can't go past because...
we're not therapists.
No, we are not. But...
If therapists could be listening and be just like, oh my God, stop it. Stop speaking. Stop.
You know what? I have no doubt that's happened. Okay, this first one comes from Emmett. So I've been playing DBZ Kakarot and some of the voice acting is just the worst. Please share your favorite / least favorite voice acting. And hey, why not give your lovely fans a sample? Thank you for making my Mondays less Monday. Much love, Emmett. Aw, Emmett, buddy, thanks.
Thanks, Emmett. Okay, I have 2 favorites. Resi 4 and Bloodborne.
Any particular...
So Resi 4, my favorite voice is the shop, what are you buying?
That's classic.
Classic.
Is that bad though?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
But like, I think in the 2000s that was amazing. When you hear it now, you're like... But it's still good. And then just Bloodborne, I just love that everyone's like, peace all over the shop. Get out of here, you're playing Written Rat.
To me, that's one of the most disturbing things about Yarnum, just the guttural British accents.
Yeah, and just like, yeah. But then that voice is also Resident Evil 4. I love just a blood-curdling rattle.
Yeah, good Resident Evil zombie kind of stuff is pretty good. Like it.
There's some real good dramatic PS2 era voice acting I'm very fond of. There's one I really love. Ooh, I'm just gonna play this. This is Dante from Devil May Cry 1. He's cradling the dead body of Trish.
I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
That was the best idea.
Yeah. The crack in the voice is pretty good.
You got something, Niamh?
I don't have anything recorded. One that I kind of hate. It's kind of, I have a really love-hate relationship with it. But did any of you play Enchanted Arms RPG for the Xbox 360?
No. What the fuck is this?
That's not real.
It suffers from anime girl voice. So the female characters
Everything
have
is like an inflection.
But like where are you going? Like that kind of really like shrill like kind of shit that's going on, and you're just like, oh my God, you're just destroying my ears. But then they also have like a gay character in it who's like actually just out and gay, and his voice is really good because he's very campy, and I really like that. It's pretty much just Pegasus from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Fantastic. Perfect. That's such a good voice.
As for actual bad voice acting, probably Shenmue.
Yeah.
Well, which part?
All of
Like,
it.
yeah.
Just like
I think that voice acting in Shenmue 2 might be slightly worse.
Why does it sound like someone did it through the phone?
Listen, it was 1999.
Did they not have microphones back then?
No, they didn't. There were none. That's why there was no radio before 2003. I also really like Geese Howard from Capcom vs. SNK 2. I played that game for a long time, and after about 3 years, I could understand what he's saying, because he like comes out and he just goes, "I was made in Umbron with your blood," and if you really listen, you can hear him say, "I will stain my hands with your blood," and he also goes, "Ryan," and that means "try again, geek." Oh no, that was Sagat. But there's a lot of good like. Just English from person who has never spoken a word of English in fighting games.
The 2 3D JoJo games that came out recently, recent enough, the narrator for those 2 games is amazing. It seems like it's a guy trapped in a bin, and he's like, it's a giant bin and he's all the way at the bottom, and he's just like, open the game! He's not doing so good.
Also, I love like the arc system works. Heaven or hell, duel 1, fight.
These are all sound like things you love and not actual terrible voice acting.
But it's video games. Everything's terrible.
I think an example of something that I thought was really bad that it actually affected the game was recent Tekken, the reporter's voiceover in that.
Because that wasn't fun. That was
that
just
sucked.
Yeah, but this is meant to be this is meant to be our favorite bad voice acting.
Okay.
But
Did you ever play original Destiny with Peter Dinklage?
Yes. Oh God, that was so phoned in. It's like you're playing a little robot, they told him, and then he went, well, they don't have emotions or act good.
But it wasn't even robotic. Like, I'll
No.
never forget that line read of, that wizard came from the moon. Like, it was just so dead.
And he has a great voice. What's going on, Pete?
I wonder, has he done much since the old Game of Thrones?
I don't.
Maybe he didn't like the spotlight.
Maybe he doesn't want to.
Yeah, I could see that.
Anyway, thank you, Emmett.
Thank you, Emmett. Okay, this next one. Brian, why don't you take this next one from...
This is from Tiago. And it's about turning 30 years old. Hi to both queens and the coming dork prance.
It says Dark Prince.
You'll get there, buddy.
Please respect his email.
Darp prompts. Dimp prompts.
Brian?
John?
Damp pants. You're
Damp
reading
pants.
it wrong.
No, don't say that, Niamh.
The damp.
Oh no, that feels like it's gonna stick.
Ooh, the damp pants are coming. Next year's gonna be my year with the damp pants.
You know, guys, there's such a thing as being a sore winner.
Sit your soggy bottom down, damp pants.
Woo! Oh, it's March and it's still happening.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have a talk.
Love your podcast. Gonna try and keep it simple. So, my name is Tiago, and this Saturday, the 24th, let's assume probably February. Happy birthday, Tiago, by the way.
Happy birthday.
It's my 30th birthday.
Fuck, dude.
Whoa. Also, usually birthdays and such don't get to me. But I got myself thinking if I'm living life to the fullest. But my question is not around what should I do, but is more around your own experiences with this kind of mark on your life. Did reaching 30 make you rethink life? Did you ever have the feelings to just do something to change the stance? Thanks in advance from Portugal.
I don't know, dude. We'll tell you in like 7 years.
Okay. This is an email we can answer based on our own experiences.
Yeah, you did ask for those.
Yeah, no, Tiago, you totally asked the correct kind of question. Thank you. You can cut all this.
Why do
out.
you hate people who email us?
I love people who email us. I love all our emails.
But you get so much.
I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I'm trying to be so nice to people.
I know, but it's the fact that your rage still comes through. It's so fucking funny.
It's nearly more biting when you're trying not to be outright pissed off.
Like it's
All these people do is send us emails because we tell them to.
How dare you? Oh, I don't know how I feel anymore.
I know.
So that's how good being in your 30s. That's what it's like.
Yeah, you just turn into a fucking cynical old bollocks.
Yeah. Okay.
Who wants to go first?
Okay, so we are all legally in our early 30s. Maybe not mentally, but, you know, on our like passports it has a number, and if you deduct it from the current year we are in.
I did remember having this feeling of being like, man, guess no more fucking around and I'm really gonna get my shit together. But then immediately I was like, that's what you said, you turned 20, you fucking disaster. Yeah, like, I mean, you know, you can make the argument that age is like an arbitrary thing, and you know, in a lot of ways it kind of is. But I guess it is just one of those milestones that makes you kind of look back on things and be like, is this what I want to do? Do you know what I mean? And that, I think that is like a big question for people. For me, like when I looked back, it was a lot of the like, I don't know, a lot of the times that I kind of didn't overthink things and just went with my gut and made kind of big decisions based on that. that I think were like my favorite choices I had made, and that kind of made an impression on me, because it's like you do just worry about so much shit, and like there's just, you know, every day there's something to fucking worry about, like whether you're working a job, whether you're on your own company, like whatever. And I guess when I turned 30 was when I realized like I had spent so much of my 20s just worrying about shit and trying to do less of that. And like I still do, but I also think I've probably had more fun in my early 30s than I had for most of my 20s. And I do think, like, you know, your ability to understand life and to understand who you are, that all kind of levels up. And I think if you lean on that and just try and get more comfortable with yourself. This is all sounding very floaty. I hope this makes some amount of sense at all. But I think that was what turning 30 was for me a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's definitely about kind of settling down into a more comfortable version of yourself. That's what I feel.
I've only gotten more chaotic.
That's good
but
too,
that's
though.
kind of what I mean.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like
you have, but I think you're also you're more yourself now
Yeah.
than any other point in your life.
I feel like turning 30 is kind of freeing, because like we don't really tell stories about 30-year-olds, you know, in media in general. Like they're never interesting. I think there's an idea when you're younger, like you might be 17 and thinking like, oh my God, they're so fucking old. Like there's this idea when you turn 30 that you drop all your hobbies, that you'll stop playing games, you'll stop buying figures, you'll like turn to this image of yourself that isn't you anymore.
Time
And
to
has
pop
like
out
a
some
house,
babies.
and has a house and kids and shit.
Yeah, you'll just become the grey shadow version of yourself. But that doesn't happen. If anything, you can lean in more to it because you supposedly have your more disposable income for that shit, or not. But it's like, I think there was a freedom in turning 30 for me where it's like, I don't have an expectation. I was so worried before of like as a teenager or in college about what other people thought I should be like, or
Well, like as 19,
what should I be doing?
As 19 years old, by 25, you expect to be the fucking president of your country or a rock star or something like that.
Yeah.
And letting that not happen is actually incredibly freeing.
Yeah, like there's loads of expectation on yourself, and you just everything, you know, the world's your oyster, you could do anything, you could be the president, and then by the time you're 30 you're just like, oh no.
Yeah, fuck that.
No.
Like,
reality sets in, and then you have to have fun with it.
don't want to ever be the
No,
president.
no,
Like,
you don't.
No, and you never
start-
wanted to
yeah,
be.
you start realizing that's saying shit. I'm glad I'm not that type of person. Like, I'm like, I feel you settle into your personality more, and you can have more fun with that, and you can be yourself a little bit more. Like, to me, being 30 has only being a positive, because I feel more comfortable being myself a lot more of the time.
And you figure out what makes you happy. Like,
Yeah.
it's enough. Like, I think your 20s is enough time to really understand the things that bring you genuine joy. And
There
the
are ups
things
and downs,
you
yeah.
do not give a fuck about at all. You know, and like, you know, for me, it was like, you know what, like this kind of person, I just don't get anything out of it. And so, you know, I kind of actually walked away from a lot of my like more casual acquaintances and friendships. I don't really regret that at all, because it left me more time to like hang out with the people that did genuinely make me happy and like do the things that genuinely make me happy. And now like I'm kind of cool with being like that, just being like, no, I'm not doing this thing, you know?
Yeah, or stuff that used to let bother you, you're just like, why did that bother me?
Yeah, because you've been an adult for like 12 years and it never killed you.
Yeah, I know when I graduated college, because we graduated the same year, John, we couldn't get any jobs. There was no animation jobs at the time. And we were like, I can't wait till it's 10 years time and we are more established and we kind of have like something, like maybe like just a little bit of something. I think we have that now. It's not what I thought it was going to be, but I feel safe.
Yeah, and like, I also feel like a lot of the things that I'm super passionate about now, I only started like around the time I turned 30 or well after. Like, jiu-jitsu has become such a big thing for me and I fucking love it. And I've only been doing it for a year, and I just feel like, what was I doing for all my 20s? Why wasn't I doing this? Like, if this has been such a positive thing. And I think part of it's just like, it was that kind of process of learning to separate the things you really care about from the things you don't. And once all that shit was out of the way, I was like, oh, I actually really like this. And like, there's a bunch of classes and stuff I want to still do, and stuff like just trying different things and seeing what sticks. And like, I'm really excited for that. I think that's something I already really figured out, like with the kind of dawn of 30 and thinking about what does make you happy.
So positive, more confidence. Negative, my body hurts more.
Yeah. We definitely don't have the energy levels or like limits. Like, you know how you'll think you'll be able to do a whole bunch of things in a day, but you can't do it anymore?
Yeah.
Because you just get too sweaty and tired.
So there is things about me that are old and shit. Like, I don't like concerts, and I don't like it when they play music too loud in pubs.
Oh, yeah.
But I have always been that way.
Yeah.
Always, you know?
I used to I used to be such a night owl. I used to like 3 a.m. was my peak time. But now when I was in the cinema and it was 9 o'clock, I was just like, oh Jesus, when this is over, it's going to be 11. And
Sometimes
then I'm going to be
I'm in
12 by
bed.
the time I'm in bed.
Sometimes I'm in a bed at 10 p.m. on the dot, and it's the best. It's the fucking best.
So what happens with me is that I'll end up staying up later than I should during the weekdays, but then on Friday night, 9:30, I got the yawns, and I've got the whole weekend ahead of me. Let's get some sleep in. And I used to be able to like sleep in on a Saturday and Sunday until like 12 noon, 1 p.m. Can't do that anymore. Your body just wakes you up.
Yeah. You know when you were ever with your parents and your parents would be like I don't know, looking at a lake or something, and they'd be like, isn't that lovely? Would you just stop here and have a look now? And you're just like, oh my God, fuck you. It's just a fucking lake. Come on, let's move on. Now, I was walking my dog today and I was like, it's not a lovely tree. I think you like, and I love nature anyway, but I just think you take in time and space differently.
Yeah, you definitely do.
like, oh, isn't the weather nice? You know, like, and it sounds like such an old person thing, but I think you enjoy being with people you like and having moments more. I think you're more reflective of nice times with people you care about now than, like, I feel like when you're younger, it's like you're moving through them so fast that you don't even have time to think about them.
It's little things as well. Like, I realized recently, I don't think I want wacky mugs anymore. I don't want fucking Ryu from Street Fighter on my mug. I just want a nice set of mugs that all match, so that every time I pick out a mug for coffee, it can be my favorite mug.
Yeah.
I've gone the opposite. I'm like, more pictures on mugs, please. And also heat changing mugs. Love those. Because now I can tell when my tea's still hot.
You'll get there.
I don't think so.
We'll see.
I was the opposite. I had all matching mugs and now I'm gone to picture mugs.
For me, it's gone to
I think you have to go there to come back. Yeah.
Maybe.
For me, it's like, as a gift, if I receive a consumable, I'm way more excited about that than something that you put up on a shelf.
Yeah.
Because a consumable...
Really?
So, like, for me, if it's a voucher or a candle or, like...
Candles are such good gifts now. They used to suck, but now they're good.
They make your room smell so good.
Mm-hmm.
I do love candles, but I love, like, figures are like top tier gifts for me.
Oh, yeah, no, like, they're great, but what happens is, you know how you spend your 20s, like, amassing all the things you wanted as a teenager, and so now I have all the Game Boy games. It's like, now I'm collecting the weird shit that, like, you can't...
Your weird shit is so good though, Bryan.
Yeah, I know, but, like, what's happening now is that it's like every 6 months you buy a really expensive, dumb thing, and you're like, finally. And then you see another thing. Like, I don't want to own a physical copy of Little Samson.
Well, Bryan.
It's so fucking expensive.
Bryan, you think I want to buy Panzer Dragoon Saga?
No, but someone has to archive that in Ireland, because you could be the only Irish person. So for me, my rule is I'm the only person in Ireland who has this.
No one's ever made a good YouTube video about Panzer Dragoon Saga. Well, actually, no, I haven't looked. Maybe there is, but
can't look because you can't be looking at other people's YouTube videos.
No,
John.
Can't be having that.
No,
can't be having that.
This is yeah, okay. Being 30 is fine. If you look young, you can just lie about your age and you can pretend you're a student and get cheap burritos. That's what I do.
I was asked if I was a student today and I got ID'd for buying alcohol the other day.
I've gotten the student question. I haven't been ID'd for years and it makes me sad. One time I was going into an establishment with two younger friends and the bouncer was like, I'm going to need IDs from you two, and then he pointed at me and he was like, you're good.
Gramps.
He could have, I mean, it seems to me it would have saved him time if he had just checked all three, but you know, whatever.
I love showing my ID because then they see like 80s and then they're like, oh. And I'm like, I know.
It's your cherub face.
I know.
Let's say we take another email. Niamh, why don't you take this one from Kebefep?
Thanks, Kabefef. A favorite indie gaming experience. I want to ask, what are some of your favorite indie gaming experience which have stuck with you and why? Thank you again so much, Niamh, Bryan, and John. You guys are amazing. Have a Merry Christmas and a wonderful holiday.
Wow! Merry
Holy
Christmas.
shit, this is from the future.
Wow. I love Christmas. Any day now.
I think, like I've talked about it on the podcast before, but like the first time I played Cave Story, that blew me away.
Oh, that game's fantastic.
Just be like the sheer idea that one person made this, that was so alien to me when I found Cave Story first, and I absolutely loved it. I did like a playthrough of it in like the last year, and I didn't really feel like it held up great, just because I played so much more indie stuff, like, you know, like Hollow Knight and just really incredible stuff, but it was still so cool. But I just found that so inspirational that one person did this, and yeah, I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, for me it's probably Owlboy. That's another one of those made by one person games.
Over like 8 years.
Over 8 years, and it's not shit, because usually stuff like that just gets misdirected at that point, but the game is still so consistently good, and definitely kind of harkens back to kind of late era SNES games. Definitely my favorite game from a year or two ago.
Battle Chef Brigade. I really like it. It's a blend of a whole pile of genres I like, which is RPG and match 3 gen games, and with really nice artwork. I don't play a lot of indie games generally because they're not. I'm just a shooter baby who likes my first-person shooters, but I would like to play more, but they tend to be on the side of things that you guys like more, so I was really happy to find Battle Chef Brigade and have it be something I like in that field.
What do you say, like, what do you mean by our side?
Some pixel bullshit.
Yeah, well, just like some like Metroidvania, something difficult, or like a pixel platformer or
there's
something
so
like
many
that.
indie
A lot of people,
Metroidvanias.
a lot of people making indie games now are people who grew up with Super Nintendos.
Yeah.
I can't wait until like you get the low poly 3D platformer indie games, like they get more refined.
They're coming.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, oh shit, that Legend, that Link's Awakening, like Anodyne 2 is that.
Yeah.
I fucking need to go play that game because I played 30 minutes of it and I was like, this is awesome, and then I never touched it.
I've like We Know the Devil like on my to play list forever, and I'm excited to play that, and I think I'll like it.
What's We Know the Devil?
It's a gay.
Oh, the visual novel game.
Novel, yeah.
I haven't played it, but I know everything that happens in it. It's cool.
Thanks. Yeah, I want to play that, but again, visual novels just like another genre that I'm not that into.
I think you have to find one that speaks for you, otherwise it speaks to you. Otherwise, it's just agony. But I do like that visual novels can be kind of, you know, they're the easiest kind of game to make.
Yeah,
and that's pretty cool. Okay, one final one here. This is from James. Gaming with limited time. Hello everyone. How did you guys adapt to playing video games? Have we answered this one before?
I think we've probably answered something similar.
Yeah, it's definitely a recurring thing.
Fuck it, we'll do it. Playing video games with limited time in your hands. I recently started a full-time job, and realizing how precious and limited your free time is, it's making me have a hard time with finishing games often, and create this bad habit of rushing to finish games so I can quickly get to a next one. I would look things up more often, skip puzzles. This is a problem. Is this a problem you guys faced? Guidance, please. P.S. The Dark Prince will rise again. Anyway, love you all, James.
You misspelled damn
Fuck
pants.
you, Bryan. Fuck you. Shut your fucking mouth. Niamh, you want some of this?
No.
Yeah, damn right.
No, sir.
What a saucy pup we got
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I am.
Got sauce in those pants.
Arf,
That's why they're so damp.
I thought I'd got you, Niamh. Thought I'd beaten you. I hadn't. Don't play games you don't want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm 2 to 3 hours into a game and I'm getting nothing from it, fuck it, get it out of here.
Yeah, time is the most valuable commodity out there.
Yeah.
When you're past a certain age.
Yes,
when you're young,
yeah.
don't worry about that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
remember,
yeah.
got an email from someone who was really worried about that as a concept.
This is definitely a reflecting on your late 20s, early 30s thing. Don't
Yeah.
worry about that.
Oh yeah, if you're under 25, you just go nuts, sonny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's you wouldn't think you spend as much time on social media as you do. You do.
Yeah, turn off your phone. If you're
If
listening
you
to a
want more time to
podcast,
play games, fucking get off Twitter and Instagram and that shit.
I was going to say, if you're listening to a podcast right now, just stop it.
Stop
Or-
it, delete, unsubscribe.
Or have a podcast game. A game that you can multitask podcasting and playing.
I love doing that.
And
Yeah.
that's your podcast game, and then you have your game
Non-podcast
Yeah,
game.
exactly.
Yeah.
So Destiny is my podcast game, and then everything else is my non-podcast.
Granblue is my podcast game right now. Works well.
Yes. I don't feel bad about using guides or walkthroughs.
I get annoyed as in like, oh fucking I shouldn't have to do this. Come on.
Yeah.
Like as in I get annoyed with the game more than myself. Because like at this point I know how to play a fucking game.
Yeah. I think if you've accepted that you need to watch a YouTube video on this boss, or I can't get to the next area, I need to backtrack here and blow open this door to get on.
I like the feeling when you use a guide and it's like, oh well, I never would have got that. Because
Yeah.
it's like I just saved myself some time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it is a tough one, especially like when so much stuff is coming out. But
It's the one thing about playing games new is that, like, if you don't like the game, if you bought it physical, you can just sell it while it's still worth something.
It's also the plus side of stuff like Game Pass on the Xbox.
Yeah.
Being able to kind of sample things and being like, I don't need to play all of this.
yeah, or just buy Dreams. Last game you'll ever need. Like I'm not going to buy Resident Evil 3 because I'm just going to wait for someone to make it in Dreams.
Oh yeah, it'll still be way better in Dreams.
There's already a Nemesis model in there.
We're halfway there. Yeah, just be selective what you want. Realize you don't have time to play everything. Like, do you remember being a teenager and just playing through games you thought were okay?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All the time.
I beat Prototype.
I would just rent games and Prototype wasn't bad.
Neve.
I enjoyed
Niamh.
Prototype.
How
Neve,
many?
are we going to talk?
You get to like throw around tanks and stuff. I don't know. It was pretty good. No, it wasn't good, but I enjoyed it. Shut up.
For me, it's whenever a new console comes out and on the launch titles are shite, and you're just
Second
playing them just to be like, well, I bought this machine, I better fucking like put some time into Infamous Second Son. I'm like, that game's fine.
I would just like play anything. So I remember like the Pirates of the Caribbean game for the 360 and the Harry Potter game for the Xbox. They were both bad, but I was still like, yeah.
King Kong for the
Games.
360 was alright. Wouldn't play it now,
But
but
that's because it was super short. You get it
Yeah.
done in 6 hours.
Cameo fucking sucked.
That did suck.
I can't believe I used to have time to play multiple JRPGs a year.
Yeah.
Now I have the JRPG I'm going to play that year. I hope that helps.
Yeah, just find out what you like and narrow it down that way.
Yeah.
There must be some website where you can just like come up with a gamer profile and just like have your tastes, and then I don't know.
How long to beat is good as well, because you can check how long it takes a game and you're like, oh, 80 hours. Ew.
I use that all the time now. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Whenever a game's over 30 hours, I'm like,
I was so happy when I found out the Fire Emblem DLC was like less than 10 hours.
that's another getting older thing. You get happier when games are short.
Yeah.
Guys, what's how you move into our Patreon shoutouts?
Oh no. I didn't do them.
There's none. No one shouted out anything. We go straight to the Discord right now and find one.
I'll do it real quick. I'm so sorry.
Brian,
Yeah.
I need you to get your fucking shit together.
This is... I apologize. I genuinely apologize.
Can we just pick one at random?
Absolutely not.
I'm gonna do this right. Just you wait.
Niamh, make filler time. Entertain the audience. Go.
Oh, there's a good one there. I want to read that one.
We're not saying that. We got to do it in order.
Oh.
Niamh, entertain the audience. Filler, go.
Oh God.
Naruto, go.
Naruto. I wasn't ever a very big fan. I honestly liked Bleach a lot better than Naruto. I thought the characters in Bleach were a lot better, and I liked the drawings more.
Fucking Tide Kubo. That dude can
He
illustrate.
can draw, and the female characters in Bleach are so much better than the female characters in
I know,
Naruto.
Matsumoto, brilliant.
Yeah, like, look, we all have our reasons. I made a AMV to Soi Fong and Yurichi before.
That is some fight.
I know.
That is so... But that whole arc, the Soul Society...
It's great.
Mwah!
It was to a Tegan and Sarah song, if anyone's curious. Was
Fuck
that
yeah.
gay?
All right, we're good.
Okay, we're good. I can't stop talking.
Niamh, you want to do the first one?
Yes, I certainly do. And it is from... Oh shit, they haven't populated.
Populate. Bryan, why don't you take the first one?
No, I don't want this.
Jesus Christ, Bryan, why are you a disaster?
Because it's a Niamh one, I think.
Okay. This is from Charybdis.
Charybdis?
If we lived in the dream lesbian mecca of San Junipero, LFAB would be a podcast there too, and that's beautiful. Aw,
Nice.
that's sweet.
I'll do the
agree.
next one. This is from Rosbot. We only get one, right? I better make it count.
Cheeky chap.
This last one is from Datsubaru.
Did my phone die?
No, unfortunately. Can I get John to say, my next video will be why you should sleep on my side of the tent. I don't even know what that's alluding to.
I know.
What is it?
Cool, guys.
I haven't told any of my tent stories on this podcast.
You need to say it in your eye patch voice.
Yeah.
And that's why you should.
Well, friends, go on, do it.
You see, I wouldn't say my next video will be...
change it. Just change it.
And that's why you should sleep on my side of the tent.
Oh, that's
Perfect.
good.
Very good. You really sound like Super Eye Patch Wolf when you do
Yeah.
that voice.
Yeah, it's my party trick.
You'd like his videos.
I watched a couple of them. Kind of floaty, if you ask me.
Bad opinions on Shenmue.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so sorry about that. It'll happen again sometime, and I apologize for that bumble as well. That fumbly, bumbly, dingle dongle.
Someday you'll be forgiven. Loot drop. Niamh.
Mine is How Level Design Can Tell a Story. Game Maker's Toolkit.
This is a good video.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's about level design and how it can tell a story.
Oh, I'm so sad that Niamh's jazz hands are going to be lost to time on that one.
She really reached out like
Yeah,
an
she
eagle.
really committed physically.
You know I like environment design and you know I like that stuff, and this is just about how that is all great.
My loot drop is horror books have lost their identity, and this is from a channel called In Praise of Shadows.
I watched this video.
Have you watched much of this guy's channel?
No, just this
He's great.
Oh,
He's
cool.
so good. It's he does a lot of horror anthology videos. So he has one 30-minute video where he just goes through the entirety of the Chucky franchise.
Oh, fun.
And it's great. And I really liked this video. It's not really about horror books as much as it's just about covers of horror books. And I thought what he was saying was really good, where it's basically a lot of modern horror books, they're kind of scared to look like horror books. And which is a shame because they have this really cool history of these really intricate paintings and illustrations, kind of in the way movie posters used to look. And I started watching this guy's channel recently, and I watched a bunch of his videos, and not a bad one in the bunch. His anthology videos, he has one on a horror series, Stepfather, and it's just great. And I'm very, very fond of this guy's stuff.
Then my video is called Schlug, and it's 2 minutes long.
I watched this.
and it speaks for itself.
Fucking brilliant.
His other videos, are great as well.
So I guess, you know, after talking about Derry Girls, and I know we got this question a while back, like what's like funny, weird Irish stuff that like anyone can watch. This guy does a very good version of a pub man, and he's just bothering some people that want to be left alone. But he also role plays this character and streams on Twitch and plays bus sim games. And he does like 3-hour streams in character with those.
Holy shit.
And he has a fucking full-on steering wheel, and he wears the awful shoes, and he's working the brake pedal.
The shirt's too big.
Yeah, the shirt's too big. But what he does as well is he has like, I think it's a coat hanger or something in behind the shirt. So he has like a hunchback, and the whole time he does the voice.
Okay. Because this was great, and the editing... Especially, you killing his nephew?
You making a movie?
Brilliant.
Did you watch his Mercedes ad one?
Yes.
It's very good.
His entire channel is very good and extremely broken, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah, totally. And that's going to do it. Bryan, what number episode is this?
Episode 120.
Whoa! Fucking
Wow.
no way.
That's the sex number.
Wait, is it?
Yeah, every
Yeah.
number is a sex number if you know how to do
what
it.
is...
It's the secret sex number. No one told you.
Yeah, okay.
You'll find out. It's a special club.
I still don't know any sex numbers.
Can we use the word sex in our title?
Definitely not.
Okay.
Why?
I just feel like they'll probably get... Well, we could do it and see
No,
if the
I think we
numbers
have
totally
done it
plummet.
before,
Yeah.
and it's not that the numbers, it's just that people get a little raunchy in the comments.
Okay, yeah.
I think people are like cutting all this out.
Oh, yeah. Okay, goodbye, everyone.
Bryan, would you send people off with a little poem about the moon?
I was going to say goodbye, but instead, I have to cry. Looking up in the sky, reflections in my eye. The moon, I wonder why.